Check, 1, 2. All right, we are here live at last. We were actually supposed to start at 1 o'clock, but there were some technical difficulties, so that other one was deleted, but you guys can come on over to this one, and we'll be doing the full commentary. What even was that? That was so weird. I just got like a really loud like ding in my ear. Well, all right. I don't know what that was.
It says you're not live yet.
I am. I'm. Oh, it just went live now.
Because we said 1:15.
Well, that's annoying.
Want to try again?
No, because then it'll end it.
No, I mean it hasn't recorded anything yet.
No, that's fine. Just tell me when it's good. Just give me a thumbs up. Oh, there's someone here though. There's someone here. That means it is working.
It went wrong. That's what we try.
Is it working?
It's live now.
Yes, it is. It's live. All right, I am live at last. Many a technical difficulty, but we'll get through it. So we have a real thriller coming to us live from Houston right now. As the Houston Texans, also commonly known as the Houston Strouds, mostly because last year their only good player was in fact CJ Stroud. And they're taking on the new rookie quarterback in town, also known as the new kid on the block. It's Caleb Williams, fresh out of college. Take it as he leads the Chicago Bears. Coming into this one, the Houston Texans are donning their all-white uniforms. I must say I am a big fan of the new style of the horns on the side. Meanwhile, Chicago has gone for a more modernized look of their own, as they have stuck with the classic orange tops this time. A little unfamiliar territory for Chicago. They don't tend to wear those. It'll be fun. So remember, of course, on this Sunday night broadcast, you're probably watching on your TV right now, Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. Say you don't like them, go ahead and turn them off, mute them, watch the game, but mute them, and come listen to me because I will give you the full breakdown and the full commentary. Before I get any further, I would just like to give a big thanks to everyone who watched the last live stream, which has since been like absolutely incredible, blew my mind away. At the time when I finished, I was tired and everything, and I thought I read the number wrong, but the number when I finished was 426 views, and that blew my mind. I looked at it and I'm like, what? Like I was like thoroughly exhausted at that point. I'm like, that can't be right, can it? Like no way. But then I checked again the next day, and it was 426, so that was very cool. So then I checked again a week later, and it was then in the 800s almost just earlier today. It was in the 800s. That really means a lot to me, almost to 1,000. So if you guys can, if you're here on this one, go ahead and take a look at that other one, see if we can make 1,000. I might do a special video on the other channel, RSquared's Monday Morning Mayhem, just for the fun of it. Before I was interrupted by technical difficulties, I had done a full recap of the Bears and their Bears game against the Titans, where Caleb Williams only threw for 93 yards and struggled, and the defense was the only thing, along with some special teams that gave Chicago even a mild chance of winning that game. But meanwhile, among other things, the Texans took on the Colts, and they won an all-out. It was just a shootout between two fantastic first-round quarterbacks of the past, as C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson faced off, and they were throwing bombs. I mean, first touchdown from Anthony Richardson went 60 yards. Then C.J. Stroud threw a dart to Stephon Diggs for 9 yards. Then Anthony Richardson says, "I think I'm gonna air it out again." Then throws 54 yards. Then C.J. Stroud narrowly fits it in tight to Stephon Diggs for the second time. Overall, C.J. Stroud won the competition, winning 29-27. So both of these teams are coming into this game with a W. So either way, they're both coming in one-on-one as Chicago takes on Houston here on Sunday Night Football, and we are here for it. I know at the last week's game that I commentated on, Baltimore, Kansas City, didn't have the most interesting first little bit there. First three quarters were a little dull as far as scoring went. But with Houston in this game, I was kind of hoping that there would be some big numbers to back up a very good game, as we get to see a battle of top rookie talents in Caleb Williams and rookie talents of the past in CJ Stroud from last year. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one goes. Of course, the Texans have also changed things up a little with Stephon Diggs joining the crew along with Joe Mixon, making them a very legitimate Super Bowl contender this year. And really, it just helped reassure me that they're really going to contend in that all-out shootout against Indianapolis last week. Meanwhile, Chicago added some new faces as well, and some not new ones. But they added Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift to the team. DeAndre Swift didn't have a huge game last week, neither did Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's actually out for this game with an injury, I believe. Let me double check that. But I do believe that he is out for the game. And Keenan Allen is inactive for Sunday's game against Houston with a heel injury that's bothered him throughout the majority of his career. That's maybe the third or fourth time I've seen him on an injured list, whether with the Chargers or with the Bears, with a heel injury. So, without further ado, it is officially in. I went way too early. 1 second. Well, more like 8 seconds. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is officially game time. So, without further ado, let's get going. Caleb Williams, the quarterback from USC, is taking on CJ Stroud, an alum from Ohio State. Yes, Ohio State. It was a long time ago. Okay, it's bound to be a good one. One of the league's highest paced offenses in Houston are taking on one of the league's, as of last week's, highest paced defense in Chicago. It'll be interesting to see how this game plays out, folks, right here on Sunday Night Football. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The Bears are, that cannot be right. What even is that? That's funny. Those are preseason. I'm like looking at the things. I'm like, how in the world did Houston beat Chicago and Chicago beat Houston like last year? I don't know. It was like very confusing. But anyway, we are all here for it, for the 1-0 battle live from NRG Stadium in Sunnyside, Houston, Texas. It's Sunday Night Football in America, live from Houston, Texas, as the Texans get set to take on the Chicago Bears. The Texans come in as clear favorites, but with the Bears' stunning defensive performance last week against Tennessee, maybe they do stand a chance against Tennessee's arch rivals, the Houston Texans. Let's see what the Tex can do against the Bears. Really, I was looking up something to put a hashtag in the video for like Houston, but they do not seem to have like a super catchy chant. Really, at this point, it's just H-Town, Houston. Like they don't have anything cool like some of their other Texas counterparts. America's team. Hook 'em horns, gig 'em. All of the college ones in Texas, but Houston just doesn't have that. The Texans just do not have that kind of catchy catchphrase. I mean, the Bears have always had the Bears, but Houston has never pulled that off. So maybe in the future they'll start calling him the Strouds. They'll go Stroud, Stroud every time Houston comes onto the field. They're currently conducting an interview with CJ Stroud. He's actually a really nice guy from what I know. He always sits in for all the interviews. He's never hesitant to go up on the podium. But anyway, Houston is led in their second season by their head coach, DeMeco Ryans, who's in his second season with the Houston Texans. They won the AFC South and won the divisional round for Houston last year. But as for the Bears, they're led by Matt Eberflus, holding a whole new look. I mean, what a makeover. And his total record is not great. His total record is 10-24 through 2 seasons as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. But he has a chance to redeem himself. He's got a new quarterback. He's got a new look. And NRG Stadium is in whiteout mode, folks. It is in full whiteout. There is not a single blue or red jersey in this place. And they are currently going through the intro as they get ready for the Houston Texans to take on the Chicago Bears live on Sunday Night Football. Just a reminder, this commentary was sponsored by the Carmona Law Firm. Let our family take care of your family. That's one. Now, that's an ongoing joke here on the channel that was only during the preseason one, but we're going to start doing it now because I completely forgot to plug in during last week's. I'm going to stand closer to the mic so I don't have to talk as loud, hurt my voice. Yeah, I'm old, I can't keep going with all this talking nonstop so loudly. That's what the mic's for. Anyway, Chicago's coming in wearing the orange tops, a unique look along with their orange helmets. And we are kicked off here in Houston. And they will actually take this one out, surprisingly. And they'll actually get a nice break on it. It'll get to almost the 30-yard line for Houston. A nice return by Robert Woods. It'll go for 30 yards to the Houston 29 to get started, which means we get to take a look at the Houston offense, led by C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins. Then coming in at tight end, Dalton Schultz, left tackle, Laramie Tunsil, left guard, Kenyon Green, center, Jared Patterson, right guard, Shaq Mason, right tackle, Titus Howard, making them one of the more elite offensive lines in the league. Currently, they have Cade Stover, the rookie out of Ohio State, I believe, in the backfield as playing fullback position in front of Joe Mixon in I formation. C.J. Stroud, play action. He'll roll out. He delivers. Oh, it's tipped into the air by the Chicago defense, almost intercepted on the very first play of the day. Good job getting your hands up there by Chicago. Really did a great job keeping your eyes on the football if you're the linebacker there. That was not Jaquan Brisker. I'm trying to Sanborn. Really great job by Sanborn, just getting his hands up there. That's exactly what you have to do. He saw the pass coming. He jumps, gets his big paw up there, and swats that ball away. Great job. It's 2nd and 10 coming up for Houston from their own 29. Mixon's in motion from the backfield. Stroud drops back to pass, and he'll dump one off for a short gain. That'll go to Nico. Nope, that'll go to Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan. C.J. Stroud last year in 2023 had a 64% completion percentage, along with 4,108 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, with a remarkable 100.8 quarterback rating, along with winning the Offensive Player of the Year award for the Texans. It's 3rd and 6 coming up for Houston from their own. My stats are not completely correct right now, so we'll wait for it to catch up. Anyway, 3rd and 6 coming up for Houston at the 33. Stroud drops back to pass. He'll throw, and it is caught for a first down. That'll be Joe Mixon on the play. That'll go for about a gain of 8. And that'll take him to the Houston 41. It was a really great job there by Stroud. He just went through his normal. He went through his reads. He started on the edge there on number 12. I'm still getting used to the new players on the teams and such. But his second jump down was Mixon. He knew that was enough to get the first down. Smart decision. 2 men in motion for the Texans. Mixon in the backfield. Mixon in motion. There's a lot of motion, pre-snap motion 4 times in this one. And another man in motion, and it'll be a jet sweep for 28. I believe that's Mixon, and Mixon makes some people miss, and it'll go for about 15 yards on the play. A nice little trickeration, a lot of movement in the backfield. Kind of looked like a Miami Dolphins-esque play, but I guess all credit due to Kyle Shanahan, Bobby Slowick, and Mike McDaniel both coming off of that same Kyle Shanahan tree, which of course comes from the Mike Shanahan tree. It's a long line of roots there for D'Amico Ryans and Bobby Slowick in Houston. But really nice block in there by Brevin Jordan, getting Joe Mixon around the edge to get the 15 yards for the first down. I formation, Robert Woods is in motion. Stroud under center. 1st and 10 from the 43 of Chicago. Stroud will hand it off to Mixon for the first time, and that'll go nowhere. And when I mean for the first time, it's not the first run of the game. It's just the first handoff to the backfield, and that wasn't even Mixon. That was Cam Akers, my mistake. That'll go for no gain on the play. This defense from Chicago is highlighted by linebackers Tremaine Edmonds, T.J. Edwards, along with star safeties back in their day, Kevin Byard III and Jaquan Brisker. Kevin Byard II, my mistake, was one of the best safeties in the league a few years ago for the Titans. In my opinion, he was very good. A lot of pre-snap motion yet again. At least three men moving pre-snap. C.J. Stroud, he's got under center, Mixon behind him. And there are multiple flags out. A lot of laundry. Something happened. It could have been a false start. We'll see what the call is. It is false start on the offense. Our referee is Land Clark today. He's in his 5th season as an NFL referee. So that'll be on Kenyon Green for the false start. That's the left tackle, left guard. Yeah, definitely a lot of pre-snap motion there. Uh, the defense reacted accordingly. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Get up there, point at the guy that did it, and say, "It wasn't me, ref." No, not really. I have no idea. But Kenyon Green was on the motion. It'll become second and 15 from the Chicago 48. Stroud will take the snap. Under a bit of duress, he'll dump it off to Joe Mixon, who will only get about a gain of 2, bringing up a tough 3rd and 13 coming up for Houston, which means we might get the first chance at seeing C.J. Stroud dial up one of his signature deep threat passes that we saw last year. And if it's possible, sorry, that was a pass to Cam Akers. I got to get their numbers more organized there. Very similar numbers, 22 and 28, I believe. So we'll definitely see how this one goes. Excuse me. 3rd and 12 coming up for Houston with 11 minutes remaining in the first quarter. 3rd and 12. And Stroud will take the direct. He's under a bit of pressure. He dumps a low one off to Akers, and that won't get the first down, but it'll get quite a bit of yards along the way. And so the Texans will be forced to make a decision early. That was to Daryl Gunbawale. How many running backs are on this team? But they will send the field goal unit out. It's Kaimi Fairbairn. He was the second best kicking percentage in the NFL. With a 96% last season, he made 27 of 28 and as long as 54 last year. This is a 56-yard field goal attempt, so already breaking that here. And here comes the kick. It's a 56-yard attempt. Snap good, hold good, kick is dead center straight and good. 10:20 remaining in the first quarter. The Texans put together a nice opening drive to get Houston up 3-0 in the first quarter. Early in the first quarter. Good first drive there by Houston. Very good play calling by Bobby Slawick. Pre-snap motion really got Chicago a little confused there along the line. If you have any questions about what's going on in the game, feel free to comment down in the chat and I will answer your questions. C.J. Stroud on that drive went 4 of 5 for 22 yards. Joe Mixon only took it once for 16-yard carry on that jet sweep-like motion. While Joe Mixon's also the leader in receiving yards with that one reception that went for 8 yards. So far, Stroud's been pretty diligent in throwing to different wide receivers / running backs. He's thrown to all four of his all 4 of 5. It is 5. The number is 5. All 5 of his attempts have been to different wide receivers so far. Only 4 of them have been completed. Nico Collins was the one incompletion on that play. So when we come back from this commercial break, we'll get a chance to see Caleb Williams come out of the gate, the rookie quarterback. He had a pretty bad opening game. He didn't score a touchdown, so maybe it'll be his chance to get the game ball in this one. Give me 1 second. All right, you guys are going to help me memorize the Texans running back room here. It is not an easy room. All right, Cam Akers is 22. British Brooks is 44. Not hard. 44 is an easy number. Joe Mixon's 28, which looks quite a bit like Cam Akers. And Daryl Gunbawale is 33. I don't even know how I messed that one up. That's on me. He doesn't look anything like him number-wise. I don't know how I messed that up. Their running back from last year, Dameon Pierce, is inactive for this one with an injury. So it's really just Joe Mixon, Cam Akers, and Daryl Gunbawale. Daryl Gunbawale has had an eventful career coming out of Wisconsin. He's been everywhere. He was a kicker last year for Houston. He's a running back, but he had to play kicker due to Kaimi Fairbairn injury, and he got the rare field goal attempt. I believe a few years ago he played for Tampa Bay, a couple years ago at least. Very interesting. He's been around. Well, he's been around, we'll say. Anyway, the game is officially back from commercial break. They're currently showing some high school highlights. I don't play college. I don't play high school football. Otherwise, I could show some of my own highlights just for the fun of it, but I don't. So the Bears fans traveled pretty well. I'm seeing quite a few of them in the crowd as they're getting set to take the field on offense. As I said, it is a full whiteout in Houston here tonight as Kaimi Fairbairn will get ready to kick off with the brand new kickoff technique, which hasn't really been working if I'm being honest with you, because honestly, the 30-yard line is not a bad positioning by any means, and it makes sense. Anyway, Chicago will take this one out in a nice burst of speed from Carter, and he is swamped. Excuse me, by the... I need to stop drinking if I'm going to get through this. Anyway, we're going to first look at the Bears offense. It's Caleb Williams at quarterback, along with DeAndre Swift at running back, DJ Moore, Romo Dunze, and Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett as their wide receivers and tight end. Their left tackle, Braxton Jones, left guard, Teven Evans, center Coleman Shelton, right guard, Nate Davis, and right tackle, Darnell Wright. Coming up for this Chicago offense, it's 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. 3 men in the backfield with Williams. Williams takes the snap. It's going to be a pass, and he's going to dump it off early for an early completion to number 14. Let me check who that is real quick. I haven't commented on the Bears yet. I don't really know anything about them. Completely new team from last year. Let's take a look at this. It was Gerald Everett. Caleb Williams, he was the highest drafted quarterback in Chicago Bears team history. He was the 2022 Heisman Trophy winner at USC, and week 1 against Tennessee, he went 14 of 29 for 90. Anyway, this one will be a handoff, and he is swamped in the backfield as Houston's defense gets home for a loss of a lot. A loss of 4 on the play, more specifically, on DeAndre Swift. Bringing up 3rd and long coming up for Chicago. It'll be 3rd and 12 by my calculations. See number 55, Danielle Hunter, just beating his man. He just rammed right through him. Danielle Hunter coming from Minnesota this offseason. He just broke right through the offensive line protection, penetrated straight through, and made the tackle in the backfield for a loss of 4. 2 men in the backfield with Williams. It's looking like a pass. Houston showing signs of a bit of blitz. They only rush 4. And that is, a good throw. Someone that the camera didn't even see, and that is a catch to Carter. That was the DeAndre Carter, the former Los Angeles Charger kick returner. He'll make a nice throw by Caleb Williams. Had a nice spiral on it, right where it needed to be. Hit him right in the chest. Perfect throw by Williams. Very impressive, and that is 1 foot, 2 foot. Great catch by DeAndre Carter, and that'll get them the first down as they have it at their own 35. Williams takes a snap. He'll throw quickly to Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney breaks the tackle, and he'll get about a gain of 15 on the play. A nice little run by, I think that's Darnell Mooney. It was not Darnell Mooney. The new names. It's DeAndre Carter still. It remains DeAndre Carter. All right. I don't. What happened to What happened to Darnell Mooney? Anyway, it'll be Williams under center, tight end in motion. Williams handoff. That'll go nowhere. Running game's not getting through that Texans D line. D'Amico Ryans made it a priority last season to bring in the strongest of the strongest, and in those strongest include defensive end. They're going too fast. Falorosum Fatukasi, Danielle Hunter, Aziz Al-Shahir coming in at linebacker Henry To'o, cornerback Derek Stingley Jr., safety Jalen Petre, safety Jimmy Ward, and safety Eric Murphy, along with cornerback Kamari Lassender, making them one of the more elite secondaries in the game. 2nd and 10. Will Anderson Jr. is another member of that defensive end, by the way. 2nd and 10 from their own 47. Caleb Williams under a lot of duress. He gets it off, and that'll go for a first down. Just shy of a first down to DeAndre Swift. It'll be 3rd and 2 coming up for Chicago. DeAndre Swift was kind of the last attempt. He didn't have time to go through his reads. Good pressure on the blitz by Houston. Really got up in his face. Bravery there by Caleb Williams, sticking in there. He never moved his feet. He's saying, I know exactly where I want to be. This is where I need to stand to make that pass, and he made that pass. Very impressive bravery. He's 4 for 36 so far for Caleb Williams. It's 3rd and 2. They're from the Houston 45. Caleb Williams putting together a nice drive, play action, under a lot of pressure, and he flips one in quickly to, I can't see his number, it's DJ Moore. It's DJ Moore, and that'll go for a big gain on first down. That'll go for 19 yards. Tackle made by Aziz Al-Shahir. A nice little read here. He knew exactly where he wanted to go the first time. Classic little right up the middle route. Got a nice little pop off the defender. He really abused the zone coverage there, getting it right to DJ Moore. Great play calling by Matt Eberflus. Really easy to get that in there. And so far, Caleb Williams is picking apart this Houston secondary. 1st and 10 from the Houston 26. It's Carter in motion. It'll be a handoff to Swift, who will go for only a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play as the Houston D-line again puts on an impressive show. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up for the Bears. I watched Caleb Williams in college. He was very impressive during that 1 year where he won the Heisman. But his most recent year at USC, the wins just didn't add up to the statistics that he put up. So I was a little bit concerned when he came, but it seems like he's showing some good moves here. He's 5 of 5 for 55 so far, if you can believe that. 2nd and 8 from the Houston 24. Caleb Williams running back at his side. Swift at his side. He'll hand it off to Swift, and that is going nowhere. And the Texans' D-line is tough right now, not letting anyone through. They might have to resort a little bit more to the air game, which is not something that Shane Waldron, the Bears offensive coordinator, was used to down in Seattle under Pete Carroll. Most of the time they stuck on the ground in his most recent season with Kenneth Walker, who had a fantastic season last year. Although he definitely made good with Geno Smith, and he's doing a great job here in Chicago from the looks of it. I mean, 5 of 5 for 55 is pretty good on the first drive. CJ Stroud looks on. It's 3rd and 9 from the 25 of Houston. Williams drops back. He's under a lot of pressure, and he is taken down. A beautiful sack by, let me just make sure, it is Will Anderson, split with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter on that one. Great tag team up. You see both of the edges come right around. You got to have better offensive tackle play than that. They got off on the wrong foot there. 1, 2, bang. I mean, just one step made all the difference. The running back didn't pick up his block. Will Anderson was there. Then the other one's just Danielle Hunter being better. So Cairo Santos, who had a 92% field goal percentage last year, made 35 of 38, and this is a 53-yard field goal. So 2 long field goals, and here comes the kick from Santos. And the kick is up. Good snap, good hold, and good kick. Oh, he doinked it. He still got it. Doinked it off the bottom. Almost didn't have enough height there, but doinked from the bottom crossbar and up and in. And so a nice drive put together primarily by Caleb Williams, who is perfect on his first drive, but after a few questionable decisions by Shane Waldron running the ball twice before eventually deciding to pass the ball, DeAndre Swift ran for -3 yards on that one. Just shows the stoicness of that Texans defensive line. So anyway, the game is 3-3 between the Texans and the Bears with 3:51 remaining in the first quarter. I'm actually rather surprised, like on a less commentary note, that Caleb Williams is obviously getting thrown into the mix so quickly. And he's doing like 5 of 5. It's very impressive against this Houston team. Like, you probably don't, some of you may not understand how good this Houston defense really is. I mean, Derek Stingley, Jalen Petre, they're elite. They're absolutely elite. Jimmy Ward was elite. He might still be. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen him make some big plays. Will Anderson has really rose up there. Danielle Hunter is elite. Even in the Fatukasi makes some plays sometimes. Aziz Al-Shahir's very good. I'm looking for other players that I can say are very good. But they have a very, very strong unit on that Texans defense. So very impressive start for Caleb Williams. Obviously, the big thing with developing a rookie quarterback is time. And for Caleb Williams, he just did not have all the time that he needed. He's not getting backed up by anyone. But really, it does come down to the coaching. And he's been under some very good quarterback coaches in his time. In USC, he was coached by the legendary quarterback builder-upper of Lincoln Riley. And now in Chicago, he's being coached by Shane Waldron as his offensive coordinator. And Shane Waldron did a magical thing in Seattle. Whether it was making Russell Wilson actually decent, because apparently he wasn't, or potentially Geno Smith making him decent, even though he's not. So overall, Shane Waldron's a very impressive offensive coordinator. And some might say it's because of Pete Carroll. But ultimately, Pete Carroll was never the one to have the one-on-one relationship with the quarterback. I mean, it was clear to that, for quite clear to me at least, for a very long time, that it was just Shane Waldron who was the one who was connecting with the quarterbacks, and I think he's done a really good job thus far in Chicago. Anyway, we are officially back in Houston, which means we're back into the commentary. It actually hit the camera on that field goal. It didn't even hit the crossbar. It hit the camera. Looks like NBC is going to have to pay a little, or they might put it on the kicker's bill. So Cairo Santos will yet again try out the new kickoff rules. Houston took it out the last time for a nice little return of 30 yards by Robert Woods. And this time they will have the chance to return it yet again. We'll see where this one goes. And it's another nice return, a nice little split end, and that'll get him to the 33-yard line. That's another nice return by Robert Woods. There is a flag on the play, however, with 3:45 remaining here in the first quarter. We'll see what it's for. It was another 30-yard return by Robert Woods. My guess is it's either illegal block in the back or holding here. Let's see what our referee, who I already forgot the name, is. It's holding on the receiving team. And so that'll bring up first down. So they'll lose a bit of yardage there, but they'll start at their own 23. It'll be 1st and 10 coming up for the Texans, which means we'll get our second look of the day at C.J. Stroud and the dynamic Houston offense. Oh, yeah, he was all over him. Absolutely. Absolutely. Correct call by the refs there. There were some questionable calls earlier in the day. Well, less questionable, but more of game-changing, including that late one between Cincinnati and KC earlier at the 4 o'clock window. Anyway, C.J. Stroud takes the snap. He'll throw, and he drills one right where it needs to be to Nico Collins for a first down. That'll be a gain of 18 on the play. So C.J. Stroud already showing off that incredible accuracy and very good arm strength as he just fits that one right into Nico Collins, basically implanted it into his chest at that point. I mean, it was good defense too, but he just nailed him right in the chest. Perfect throw, right on the money. It was a tad bit behind him, but not enough to make a difference. It's 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. I formation coming up for Houston. 5 of 6 for 40 yards is C.J. Stroud throughout this first quarter. It'll be a shovel pass to Joe Mixon. Mixon will try to power his way through and somehow manages to get 4 on the play. And they're doing a stargazing with C.J. Stroud. In 2023, he had 274 pass yards per game, which led the NFL. He was the 3rd rookie to lead the league in, along with Sammy Bauch and Davey O'Brien. He had 191 passes without an interception through weeks 1 through 6. And since 2023 in week 11, he's got a lot more than that, but I missed it because I don't read fast enough. Even though I do read really fast, I was just trying to talk slower. 2nd and 7 coming up for Houston. Stroud, under a lot of pressure, flipped into the air, and Houston defense couldn't come down with it, and that'll be incomplete. It was flicked into the air by a big man, number 90. It was Montez Sweat. He got his big paw right in the way of the pass there. And let's see it again. He comes off on the left end. He gets a lot of pressure on. He senses the throw's coming. It was more of a sidearm. All he had to do, stick his arm out a little, hit him right in the bicep. A nice block there by Montez Sweat, bringing up 3rd and long for Houston. Nico Collins in motion. I would watch Nico Collins on this one. My guess is he's going to cut to the middle of the field. C.J. Stroud drops back, and he does exactly that, but he will not get to the first down. He'll be about 1 yard short on a nice little slant right down the middle. Am I good or what? I mean, come on. I mean, almost perfect, right down the middle. It was pretty I mean, it's like their go-to play. And it looks like they're going to take a look at this one. But no, that is going to be short. Yeah, it's definitely short. No doubt about it. Tackle made by T.J. Edwards. Nico Collins not getting there. Great job by the trio of Bears trying to take him down. They're going for it on 4th and 1. I formation coming up for Houston. A short play, fake the handoff. It'll be play action, and it'll be to the tight end who gets a big gain down the side and is eventually pushed out of bounds. It's to Cade Stover on the pass. It was a nice little play out of the fullback position. Was Cade Stover out of Ohio State. So both Ohio State alum hooking up there. They probably played together. They actually did play together. Cade Stover just took that pass in stride, get some nice gain on it. Solid play. That'll go for about 18 yards on the play. Nice pass and catch there by Stover, doing a really good job of hugging the sideline, making sure he can get as many yards as he can out of that play. It's a gain of 18. 1st and 10 coming up for Houston at the Chicago 32. They got a bit of a drive going. And Houston, a lot of pre-snap motion, and they'll do a little trickeration to get the ball to Tank Dell, who makes some men miss, and will get about a gain of 20 on the play, and he's down and brings Houston inside the red zone for the first time today. That'll be another run of 18 yards by Tank Dell, tackle made by Kevin Byard. Really great job of trickeration. Bobby Slawick really pulling out all the tricks. A lot of motion up front, really distracting the defense. Oh, we're going this way, we're going that way. And then eventually Tank Dell comes in completely unnoticed right around from the left side and circles around through the right. Bobby Slawick, really nice play call. And we have the tight end in motion, Schultz. Mixon's in the backfield, Stroud under center. Stroud will hand it to Mixon, and that'll go for maybe a gain of 2 on the play. Well, there is a flag on the play. We'll wait to see what this is about. But after the flag, it is officially the end of the first quarter. So we'll see what the call on this one is as the refs discuss. Gotta say, Matt Eberflus's new look is not bad. I mean, we kind of got the same thing going on, just he's got the beard, you know. We got kind of the same thing. All right, we'll see the call here. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense. All right, that'll be on Nico Collins on the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Oh, yeah, a little bit of jawing. Ooh, punches thrown. He was getting in his face a little, but punches thrown by Nico Collins. Don't like to see that if you're Houston. So that'll bring him back 15 yards to the Chicago 28 when they basically lost the entire drive there. It'll be 2nd and 24 coming up for Houston. But without further ado, this is the end of the first quarter. 3-3. It's a tie game, but Houston is driving. Please do type in the chat if you have any questions about anything that's going on during the game. Any opinion questions as well. If you have anything like, what do you think about this team after their win or loss, and so, I'll answer those as well. Oh, excuse me. I'm choking. I'm like, I don't know. It's a pretty normal thing. Like every time I take a sip of something when I'm on camera, it's like I cough. Like every single time. Anyway, some lovely commercials we have here. Anyway, I would like to remind you that the first quarter was sponsored by the Carmona Law Firm. Let our family take care of your family. And the second quarter is also sponsored by, conveniently, the same thing. Don't worry, I'm getting paid. Trust me. I am. It's a paid sponsor. Again, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and type in the chat. We're already through the first 15 minutes of football here in Houston. It's 3-3. Not a particularly exciting game, but I'm all here for it so far. We've seen some splashy quarterback play. I mean, considering the lack of drives there's only been one complete drive for each team so far in this one. And they've just been hogging the ball all to themselves. Houston's thrown for a total of 102 total yards, while Chicago's only amassed 42. And most of those come from the air game with Caleb Williams with 55, which means they have quite the lack of rushing yards. It's a full moon in Houston. Yeah, that's a full moon. It's almost not, but it's a full moon in Houston as they get set for the second quarter. So Houston coming off a big shootout against Indianapolis last week. They wanted to find a way to really shoot out Chicago in this one as well. Really, if it comes down to it, Houston does not want it to go into a tight game like that. Nico Ryans very much wants his games to be Bobby Slawick. I want you to score 30 points, and I'll hold them to 3. And Bobby Slawick held up his end of the bargain in week 1, but not so much to Nico Ryans in week 1. So we'll see how this one goes. It's 2nd and 24 for the Texans from their own 28-yard line, I believe. No, from Chicago's 28-yard line. My mistake. 2nd and 24 in a brand new quarter in the second quarter here, and it is 3-all. CJ Stroud, he's got Mixon in the backfield with him. CJ Stroud will take a pass up the middle to Nico Collins, who makes a man miss, and touchdown, Texans! Nico Collins! And the Texans are here for the game, but there is a flag. Well, I'll hold off on my amazing touchdown calls. I've been practicing until we get the call here. Illegal hands to the face. Defense, number 29. That penalty is declined, and the result of the play is a touchdown. So Houston will take an early lead. Nico Collins, he was actually the one who got face mask right at the beginning. An early jam, gets it intertwined into the face. Nico Collins, meanwhile, breaks right through the zone coverage. Fantastic play design there by Bobby Slawick. The early hands to the face, it's a free play, basically. He can throw wherever he wants. But Nico Collins gets it right in between the zone, breaks a tackle, and there's no way Jaquan Brisker's getting there at first. So Nico Collins and CJ Stroud cash in with their signature touchdowns, which we got to learn also well about last week. And the extra point from Kaimi Fairbairn is through. It is 10-3, the Texans, 5 seconds into the second quarter, as CJ Stroud connects with Nico Collins for a gain of 28 yards and the touchdown. It was a free play nonetheless. But Houston is up by 7, 10-3, 14:55 remaining in the first half. You're more than allowed to type in the chat and rate my touchdown calls, even though they're still a work in progress. I have some come up, but they're only for certain teams and certain players, so I kind of have to really tailor them around that. I have a ton for the Dolphins. That's just because it happens so much. Not anymore, but it did happen so much. Anyway, I have one for if they get Stephon Diggs in the end zone. I got to brainstorm in case Collins gets in the end zone again. 10 of 10. Thank you. I appreciate that. I thought it was pretty good. So Nico Collins, just on these first 2 drives, he's got 3 receptions for 52 yards and a TD. In this one, CJ Stroud's 8 of 10 for 92 and a TD. Pretty much a perfect day for both these quarterbacks so far. But Caleb Williams gets his shot at making it an even more perfect day by perhaps tying this one up with Houston here early in the second quarter, as his team will get the ball. We'll get to see the new dynamic kickoff yet again. Again, I don't completely understand it because it's kind of dumb, if I'm being honest. It doesn't really change anything. We've seen a few returns in this game, which has actually been kind of shocking for me. Good kicks by Cairo Santos. But Kaimi Fairbairn will kick this one far and out into the end zone, where they will take a knee and get started at the 30-yard line. So Caleb Williams against Tennessee in week 1, his average release time, pressure time, was 2 seconds and 50. So it was 2 seconds. He really needs to get rid of that ball faster. That's when he had his job, and he took it for 7 seconds. His sweet spot is 2 seconds on the dot, and he's been perfect on it today. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. He held it for 7 seconds on numerous occasions against Tennessee, and he just has to get it out really fast against Houston, and he's doing a really great job so far. Longest completion of season was on the opening drive, 19 yards, and a nice little trickeration play to DJ Moore, which will go nowhere as the Texans blow it up. Great tackle there by Lassiter to push him out of bounds, which will bring up 2nd and 10. That shouldn't go much of anywhere. Remember, if you don't particularly care for Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico, go ahead and mute them on your TV and come over here and listen to me while watching your own game on NBC. But I'm your commentator. Caleb Williams takes the snap, and he's got an option in mind, and it's Romo Dunze. They've had a connection from day number 1. And that is a perfect pass to the outside. That'll go for about a gain of 6, I would say. Matt Eberflus's hair, the resemblance is striking. I take off the glasses and it's like, I'm Matt Eberflus, No, probably not. No. I'll ask around, be like, who can I dress up as Halloween? Matt Eberflus. Now, Matt Eberflus, I'm so glad he changed his haircut. It was terrible originally, no offense. But I think he likes it. Anyway, Caleb Williams under a lot of pressure. He has nowhere to throw, holding that way too long, and eventually just makes a smart move and throws it away. He had a total of 1 second to make a move on the play action, and Houston completely blew it up there. So that'll bring up 4th and 4 for Chicago. DeMeco Ryans' defense gets the offense off the field, which will bring up 4th and 4 and will force Chicago to punt it away back to the danger of C.J. Stroud. So here comes the punt. Caleb Williams, can I just take a second to point out how really funny that last frame looked of Caleb Williams just being like a foot shorter than half of his offensive linemen? I thought it was a really good picture. And they're called fair catch from I'm from Canada. No. From the 23-yard line of Houston. 23. Houston 23. It'll be 1st and 10 when we come back. 13:33 remaining in the second quarter as C.J. Stroud and the Texans offense get set for this beautiful night in Houston, Texas. Like on National Syrup Day, I'll do full Canadian, do a Canadian Football League commentary. Oh, yeah, the Montreal is taking on Toronto. It's going to be a good one, eh? Yeah. That would be so much fun. If there was one, it would probably be on my other channel, which you can go ahead and subscribe to and turn the notifications on. If you're more into the good plugin, right? If you're more into more of the funnier stuff, you can go over to my other channel. It'll be at the bottom of the exponential. It's called RSquared's Monday Morning Mayhem. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to this one, the exponential. Please do. It means a lot. We had an incredible amount of viewers on our last Kansas City Baltimore opening live stream, and all I can hope for is that this one completely shatters that one. And considering during the majority, I can see the view count, and during the entire thing was like 1. And I'm like, well, this isn't really going as I planned. And then I go at the end, and it's 426. I'm like, oh, so you guys just watched one at a time, like ducks in a row. Okay. No, I'm perfectly fine with that. I am okay with that. Whatever helps. I really appreciate it. You guys do not have to be here. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to not listen to Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth and mute them and come on over to me and enjoy that. If there are any problems with the mic or the sound or the lighting, I can attempt to fix that. There used to be a feature with my lights overhead that I used to be able to dim them, so they probably wouldn't have this glare that's right above my head. It's right above my head there's a light if I could dim them. But because the lights broke a few weeks ago, which was why my setup was a little darker then, we had to get rid of the dimming. So now it's just a regular old light switch. So if there are any problems, I'll do my best to remedy that. I don't know, do something, put a cloth there or something. I'm not creative. We'll see. Go Texans. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. It's a really nice setup. I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It was fun to set up too. Other than the fact that I'm bringing FC Bayern München some bad luck over here, I'll move a little, but it's upside down because I wasn't paying attention when I put it up. So I'm just bringing that. If they lose every single game this season, it's because I was flying the flag the wrong way. Anyway, C.J. Stroud is under center for the Texans. They'll go into I formation on a similar play to what we've seen from Bobby Slowik already, and Joe Mixon will get stuffed at the line of scrimmage for a gain of 0 on the play. Not going anywhere for Houston. The second down coming up for the Texans. So since we do have a Texans fan here, is there actually a catchphrase, like a slogan or a chant? Because I've never heard of it. Is there one, or do you guys just say go Texans? Just as a question while I continue commentating. 2nd and 10 coming up for CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans offense. From their own 23. Mixon in motion, Stroud's all alone in the backfield. Stroud drops back. He'll throw under pressure, and that is incomplete, batted away. Great defense by Jaquan Brisker. Not Jaquan Brisker, Johnson. I don't know who that is. Let me check real quick. Jalon Johnson, that's his name. I remember. Stephon Diggs really trying to get his offense in the game a little. I honestly don't know what's happening. I don't have my own sound up. But 3rd and 10 coming up for Houston. Obviously, Stephon Diggs has not caught a pass yet today, so I hope he would get a target on this one. But I would be watching up there, actually, towards the left side of your screen. He looks that way. He throws that way, and he's got him. Am I so good at this? I mean, crazy. And that'll go for our first down to Stephon Diggs. How many yards was that? They're not seeing it. They're checking to see if it was in bounds. Ooh, that was close. That play is going to go under review for the Texans. I wasn't sure. It was kind of tight. It was a good throw, but we'll see if he gets it in there. There's the catch. 1, 2. That's a beautiful catch by Stephon Diggs. That is inbounds. That'll be a first down for the Texans. Ooh, great toe dragging catch there by Stephon Diggs. That's what he was known for best. As a Dolphins fan, personally, I would know. Yeah, all too many games. The Bears challenged the ruling on the field. I don't think it's going to go in their favor. I think that will be a first down for Houston. Good catch there. I saw the toe drag. I do believe that'll be a first down. I'm looking for some fun statistics to point out. Houston's got double the amount of first downs that Chicago's got early in this one. Chicago's got 3 first downs while Houston has 7. Looks like they just confirmed it. It was 6 and now it's 7. So I'm guessing that is in fact a first down. It's a 21-yard completion. Yeah, there was no doubt about it to me. It looked right in bounds. All right, maybe we need to start making a counter for every time I correctly guess what a play is going to be before it happens, because so far we're at 2. Oh, it's the Dan Campbell Applebee's commercial. Not sponsored by or any of the affiliates of Applebee's. But I do like Dan Campbell, and it's a hilarious commercial. It really is a good commercial. I do recommend it. Don't tell anyone your order. They might steal it from you. You know, that one? Yeah, it's good. Again, not sponsored by or any of the affiliates of. But we are sponsored by. No, I'm only paid 4 times per game. No. So in this one, Houston has overwhelmingly dominated the yarding game, as they've put up just over 100 more yards than Chicago has early in this one, in the second quarter. 12:30 remaining in the second quarter for those that were wondering how much time was remaining in the game. CJ Stroud's got 9 of 12 for 113 yards and a touchdown. Joe Mixon's carried the ball 4 times for 20 yards. And Nico Collins is having himself an early ball game with 3 receptions for 52 yards and a TD. They're doing their college football plugin. I don't do college yet, unless it's recommended. So if anyone goes, I want this game, there's not gonna be. I want that a very specific college football game, and there's multiple people, 2 or more that go, you know what? I think I want to watch the Miami Hurricanes beat up on some minor FCS team this next week. I'll commentate on that one, sure. They are ruling that officially a catch, but there was no doubt about that in my mind. This is definitely a pass. They're too jumbled. Stephon Diggs is in motion. He's going to cut upfield. It's two-way Stroud under a lot of pressure. He's getting blitzed. He's backtracked 20 yards. He's under it. He gets hit as he throws and somehow delivers to Nico Collins, who will get an 18-yard carry on the play. Stroud took a bit of a hit there. Pops right back up. And the Texans will get a nice 18-yard first down. 18 has been the lucky number for Houston so far. Pressure came quickly. Offensive line completely broke down. Mixon missed his block. Stroud has to throw on the run. Fantastic control. Great accuracy. Phenomenal quarterback, really. Fantastic. So the Texans are putting together a bit of a drive as they're at the Chicago 37-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Nico Collins has 70 of the 130 yards. Mixon the handoff, and he is popped for a gain of only 1 on the play. 11:40 remaining here in the first half. At the first half, I mean, again, at halftime, like we did in the last one, I'm going to take a little break, eat a cookie or something. Who knows? I'll get a refill on my drink because it's almost empty. Like, I drink way too much. Which is never thought something I'd hear say. People were always like, hydrate. I live in Florida. Hydrate. And now I drink too much because we're in Europe now. It's like, stop drinking. CJ Stroud, a little bit of trickery to get the ball to Tank Dell, I believe. And that'll go for about 3 yards for number 3. And it'll be 3rd and 6 coming up at the Chicago 34 for Houston. They really tell you to fill these silent holes here, but like, it's kind of hard to do without someone. Maybe one of these days, if anyone wants to come on, like that I know that has some experience, Anyway, I'll talk more after this 3rd and 6 play by CJ Stroud and the Texans. Schultz in motion. I feel like this is the play we saw earlier, but inverted. Stroud takes the snap under pressure, delivers. And he's got, and a leaping extension for Stephon Diggs. Did he get there? That was close. They might have to take this one to the review. What an effort by Stephon Diggs. Let's see. We're going to need a better angle than the one they gave us there. Let's see. And he is out. That's a first down. That is a first down. Yeah, that is absolutely a first down. Fantastic effort by Stephon Diggs. His foot never went out of bounds. That's first down easily. So that'll go for a quick Texans first down, and they didn't give him the spot. And DeMeco Ryans is challenging, rightfully so. Trying to lip read a little here. And the play is under review. Houston is challenging the ruling on the field of it's short. So they're saying it's short. Houston's challenging it. I think he got there. I think Stephon Diggs made an incredible effort and got there. I'm stuck on my own headphone cord. Great effort by Stephon Diggs on that one. He's got a couple of questionable receptions here. Both of his catches so far have gone for booth reviews, both on challenges by opposing teams. Houston challenged the ruling on the field Chicago challenged the ruling on the field of completion, and then just now they challenged the spot for Houston. So the score is 10-3 with 10 minutes and 30 remaining here in the first half before halftime. I think he got there. I don't really think there was much question about it. Let's talk next week briefly about some of the stuff that happened or that is going to happen and what games I may or may not be commentating on. Definitely skipping out on Thursday Night Football. I am not staying up for the it's late here again. I'll hurry it. What? Sorry, I just saw like a smoked brisket. It looks good, but it's from a restaurant that you would not think would like serve brisket. I'm not gonna say it because then I have to go through the not sponsored thing. But I'm not doing Thursday night. It's like right now here in Europe it's 2:12 in the morning, and I am not commentating on Patriots Jets. Not gonna happen. I'm a Dolphins fan. Why would I do that? Ignore the fact that this is on the wall. I'm gonna cover this. No Jets. No, unless it's like a really good game. No Jets. The options for me would kind of be, honestly, well, for some, they just heavy loaded all of their great night games into week 1 and week 2, because on Sunday Night Football next week, it's Chiefs Falcons. And then the other decent one is Monday Night Football, which is Jaguars and Bills. But the Jaguars' slow start to the season makes me feel they don't really stand a chance against Let's Go Buffalo. And Atlanta, depending on how the Falcons do against Philadelphia tomorrow, could be an interesting one. If they win against Philadelphia tomorrow, that'll be the one I commentate on. If they don't, it's a little more complicated than that. And then it might even be Washington, Cincinnati. All right, here's the final calling here. I want to unmute it, but I can do this. I can do it. They're still at an intense review. I thought he got it, like without a doubt. I thought he had it. His foot is down there. No, yeah, he's got that. Absolutely no way he did not have that. What? And they're calling it 4th and 1. I am shocked. I feel like I should have unmuted it to get like a better understanding there, but I don't quite get the call there. Anyway, a 47-yard field goal attempt from Kaimi Fairbairn. It's so hard to say. And that kick is drilled dead center. So the Texans will take a 10-point lead, up 13-3 with 9:55 remaining in the first half. We'll be back after this short message brought to you by nothing really. Nothing. Your short message by me. And that message is, oh wait, what's this? They're doing their own thing. Only team without a 4,000-yard or 30-plus touchdown passer in NFL history, the Chicago Bears. They have 14 straight seasons without a quarterback to start every game, the second longest streak since 1990. Quarterbacks drafted in the first round since 2017 are Mitchell Trubisky, Justin Fields, and now Caleb Williams. The first of those two were terrible. Well, Justin Fields had his moments, but not many. Most starting quarterbacks since 2016, they're third on the list, tied third with the Broncos, but ahead of them is only the Browns and Commanders, and the Browns have been plagued by injury for the majority of these 8 years in that gap, while the Commanders, they're the Commanders. They have all kinds of problems. I couldn't name them if I tried. But here comes the new dynamic kickoff, which I will point out literally every single time. So here comes Kaimi Fairbairn, who gets set. The refs are not saying play on quite yet. And play on. All right. Must have been something on the field. So Kaimi Fairbairn will kick off using the new dynamic kickoff. So there's something called the landing zone, which will not come into effect here, as it'll go into the back of end zone and he'll take a knee. The landing zone is the area between the 5 and the 20-yard line. If you can land it in there, it's a must return. If it goes into the back of the end zone there, they get the ball at the 20 instead of the 30. So if it taps inside the 20-yard line before ultimately ending up in the back of the end zone, well then that's a 20-yard line right there. And if it's outside the landing zone, that ball goes straight to the 45-yard line. So for kickers, the goal is to hit it inside the 20-yard line without getting a return and then having it bounce into the back of the end zone, which is an interesting idea. Caleb Williams, first and 10 from their own 30-yard line. DeAndre Swift will take the handoff, and he'll get a nice little gain right up the middle for about a gain of 6 or 7 on the play, I say. It'll be 7. 7 on the play there. Ooh. I must say, it is very hard to keep the headphones on for a long period of time. Something they don't really teach you when you're commentating school. It'll be another handoff to DeAndre Swift, who will come just short. He'll get about a gain of 2 on the play. Again, please type in the chat if you have any comments about if there's something technically wrong, like lighting or microphone, or perhaps my voice is too deep. I can artificially raise that for you. I would rather not, but I can. And Caleb Williams will go for the quarterback sneak, and that will not get there. And the Texans defense holds strong again. And that is a great defense there. Reminder, if my sound isn't too great right now, it's because my headphones aren't in, so I can't hear what I sound like, but I'm trying to keep the same tone. So 4th and inches coming up for Chicago. They might end up going for this one. They're deep in their own territory. We'll see if they can get this one. Houston's defense held strong. Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS, says recommended go for it. All right, they are going for it. And the handoff to Khalil Herbert, he'll go right up the gun, and the initial push will get him over the first down marker. That sounds good? All right, thank you. I'm just making sure. I mean, it was finicky. It's been finicky. Every so often, like, there's a problem with the device that I'm using because it's connected to multiple Bluetooths. So it swaps every so often, like, away from the microphone, which is not good because it kind of messes everything up. But we'll see what happens here. 1st and 10 coming up for Chicago. Caleb Williams struggling to get his play across. A little bit of confusion, but they will get it off. Caleb Williams will drop back to pass, and he'll throw a quick one in to DeAndre Carter, who makes a nice little spin move, but will only end up going for about a gain of 6 on the play to the Chicago 46-yard line. Ooh, all right. Can you still hear me back here? Yeah, I know you can, but I'll have to talk a little louder. DeAndre Carter's in his 7th season. He's taken 112 receptions for 1,297 yards in total, along with 6 touchdowns in his long career. He's the veteran presence on this Chicago Bears receiving unit. Williams is 8 of 9 for 67 so far today. Caleb Williams, play action. Under a bit of duress, he'll dump one off to Swift. And if Swift were a little smarter there, he would have picked up the ball just in case. A dangerous job not picking up the ball. I mean, it was obviously a forward pass, but still, that's not textbook what you're supposed to do. You're going to want to pick that up every time. Rookie mistake there by DeAndre Swift. But good job of Caleb Williams just throwing the ball at the floor. The screen was blown up. It was over. 3rd and 4 coming up for Chicago from their own 46-yard line. The line to gains at the 50. Chicago times at 6 seconds. Carter's in motion. 5, 4, 3. They were late to get out of the huddle. They won't get it off. They did not get that off. No way. No. There's a flag on the play. That'll be for delay of game. See, waiting for the call. Before the penalty on the field, there was a timeout by the Texans. The Texans will take the Bears, sorry, my mistake. The Bears will take their second timeout. He was facing the different side of the field. Those referees, they always got to face the same side of the field. No. Yeah, he was, the Bears are charged their second timeout, which will bring us to a short break with 6:58 remaining here in the first half. Texans up by 10. I mean, honestly, I was hoping for a more offensive one. But, I mean, fair to the Texans, on 3 drives, they have scored 3 times. They have not punted. I mean, there's been chunky drives, too. Very clunky, very chunky, very long. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Bears. For their own 46. Caleb Williams under a lot of pressure. There's an early flag. That'll probably be a false start on the play, which will back him up to 3rd and 9. It is, in fact, a false start on the offense, which will bring up 3rd and 9 for Chicago. On number 58, that'll be on right. Tough play there for the Bears. They do not like to see that. The Bears want it. Man, that's a tough situation to put a young quarterback in when you have that's such a crucial mistake too, because they actually had a decent drive going, but 5 yards back changes the entire dynamic of this drive. Caleb Williams trying to get his play call across to his offensive linemen, who appear to be struggling to understand. Play clock winding down. He'll get the snap off, Pressure coming on the blitz. He's under a lot of duress. He might as well just throw it away. He's tiptoeing around the pocket, and he's somehow still on his feet, and he is eventually taken down for the sack. Ooh, he must be dizzy after that one. Ooh, wow. That was a wild end there. Headphones are coming back on. All right. Yeah, we just see Houston brought the blitz, went right through immediately. Too many men for the line to keep up with, and just too many people trying to get after him there. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people had to touch him before he was eventually taken down. That's the second sack of the day for the Texans. And that'll lead to another Chicago Bears punt with just over 6 minutes remaining here to play in the first half. And the Bears will punt it off. And that'll be narrowly caught before going out of bounds, which will start the Texans off at their own 13-yard line. So we'll get our next look at Stephon Diggs and CJ Stroud coming up after this. Oh, man. Looking up some statistics on my other stuff. I have a lot going on here that you cannot see. A lot going on. Let me look at some fun statistics. So Caleb Williams has actually been pretty perfect. He's gone 8 of 10 for 67 yards. But CJ Stroud has just been piling on the yardage for Houston so far. He's gone 11 of 14 for 136 yards and a TD. The running game for Houston has also been much more efficient. In one less carry, Joe Mixon has 15 more yards than DeAndre Swift. Nico Collins, meanwhile, on 4 receptions, has been absolutely wrecking the Bears secondary. And that's to be expected. Nico Collins is a very underrated, very good player. Very interesting, very interesting. It is very interesting to see how this Houston Texans team can pull off a bit of a playoff run later on in the year. I need to conserve battery. One of my devices is dying. Get a cord. I don't want to miss the game. All right, call me back, but I have to get a cord. Where is it? I'm alive. That's the one thing I was gonna use. Technical difficulties. 1 second. How am I gonna do this? I'll deal with it later. Surely I won't run out of battery halfway through. All right, I am back, and we are back from Houston, Texas. My chair's all messed up. That's what I get for standing up. Everything was all broken. My chair's in like the wrong place and everything. Every time. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 coming up for this Houston offense with just over 6 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. It's from their own 13. See a lot of pre-snap motion, I formation coming up for Houston, signaling a run most likely. The defense changing their look a bit, and it will be a handoff to Joe Mixon, and the offensive line gets pushed back into him, and that'll go for a loss of 3 on the play. A great tackle in the backfield by Jaquan Brisker. Is it getting a little chilly because that was brisk? I'm aware that was terrible. Great job by Brisker. He just filled the gaps, exactly what you need to do if you're a safety on a run play. Fantastic job there by Brisker. 2nd and 12 coming up for Houston after that loss of 2. We have Brevin Jordan in motion On the blitz, they'll have to go for the dump down to Mixon, and somehow they get positive yardage on that, even though the blitz came at Stroud like no one's business. And they'll go for about a gain of, I want to say 9 or 10 on the play. Let's see. And that went for 8. I was completely wrong. And that'll go for a gain of 8 on the play. Bobby Slawick has to drop an interesting third down play here. My guess is I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of Dalton Schultz. He's more of a red zone threat than anything else, but I would be expecting him on like a short gain off to the side here, but I haven't seen the look yet. Oh, no, it's totally going to Stephon Diggs. Like, definitely, 100%. That's my guess. Oh, and CJ Stroud goes down. He is sacked as the Bears defense strikes again. TJ Edwards makes the sack. Matt Eberflus happy with his offense, happy with his defense there. And that'll give Caleb Williams one more chance to bring the game a little closer to into grasp than it previously was. So CJ Stroud gets swallowed up by the Bears D-line there. As, fantastic penetration by TJ Edwards. He just got right in between lineman D'Amico Ryan's not too happy with what he saw there. They're punching out of their own end zone. Going to need a booter from Tommy Townsend, the former Kansas City Chief. Hey, I mean, if you're going to have a punter, Tommy Townsend was one of the best. And he boots this one. And that'll go stay inside Houston territory, about a 40 or so yard punt there by Tommy Townsend. The domino effect. Chicago lost final record 3-14, won final record 3-13-1, got number 2 pick, got number 1 pick. That was in week 18 between Houston and, whoa, this is crazy. Bears traded number 1 pick to Panthers and got 5 starters. DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, Tyree, this is way too fast. Houston, meanwhile, got CJ Stroud and Will Anderson Jr., who won the offensive and defensive rookie of the year. Who got it better off? Who knows? I feel like Houston obviously got it better off, but hey, now Chicago's got Caleb Williams. Williams, under a lot of pressure, eventually dumps it off to DeAndre Swift, who gets taken down after a brief gain of 7 on the play. They'll have 3.5 minutes to drive out half the field. Just under half the field. Nice little play, exactly what you have to do. No one was there. Pressure was closing in. Great vision. Great response to the pressure coming at him. Great job by Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, handoff, and that'll go to DeAndre Swift. And that'll go for about 1 yard, maybe half a yard. 50 seconds away, about 50 seconds away from the 2-minute warning here in Houston. Third and 3 coming up for Chicago. Houston's defense not quite aligned. Wonder what's going on there. As it appears to be Jalen Petrie trying to organize the defense a little. It's late. Caleb Williams takes a snap on a quick play. He'll throw a quick pass out to DJ Moore, who makes a man miss and eventually is taken down out of bounds at about the 25 to 30 yard line. I wasn't quite sure. Let me double check the spotting on that. Fantastic play. Always a straight play call. That'll go to the 25, 26. DJ Moore, it was a straight play call. Very classic. One of the first plays you learned. Really great strategy. Straight off the corner, made a nice cut. Great job by DJ Moore extending the play. And a great call by Shane Waldron. But I'm afraid this brings us to the 2-minute warning. The Texans have had all the success, but it's not time to count out the Bears quite yet. Houston 13, Chicago 3. 2-minute warning. Halftime coming soon. Ugh. I'm good. All right. Wow, wait, it's Case Keenum's face. I actually knew he looked like that. I've always been a big fan of Case Keenum. He's a good backup quarterback. Oh, that's funny. That's a good joke. I'm watching the commercials. If you guys do have anything you want me in particular to answer, address, or have any questions or want my opinion on anything, feel free to type in the chat at any moment in time that you want. Ooh. Ugh. I'm like allergic to everything in Europe. Like seriously, like every single flower that you can think of in Europe, I'm allergic to it. I might have to get like a Zyrtec. You do have those in America, so yeah. So I'll have to go. Ugh. Happens all the time. Spring's the worst. Summer's not much better, honestly. But I mean, those that have like pollen allergies, like, do not come to Europe unless you're prepared for the fact that you're gonna be like congested like all the time. Like all the time. It's crazy. Anyway, if you've been here throughout the majority of the time, thank you so much for watching. As halftime approaches, I assume some of you will not be willing to look at the blank wall of me not here while I sort out some halftime stuff. So thank you for being here until that point, and hopefully you come back for the second half. It's turning out to be more defensive than I imagined, although I don't know why. I mean, D'Amico Ryans and Matt Eberflus are both very defensive-minded head coaches. But nonetheless, it should be an interesting one because Shane Waldron and Bobby Slowick are bringing the offense to this one a bit, as Shane Waldron's leading his offense down the field from the coordinating position. 1st and 10 coming up for the Bears at the Houston 26. Caleb Williams has actually had some really great control of this offense through the first quarter. He's put up some impressive numbers. He's been incredibly accurate. I've actually been really surprised with his performance. He's already had as many yards as he had in his first game. He's 10 of 12 for 90. He's doing a really great job. We see on the sideline he was getting mentored a bit by veteran wide receiver Keenan Allen. They have a really great relationship from the looks of it. So there's no coaches challenges allowed in the last 2 minutes as per NFL rule. And it is 13-3 Houston lead, 2 minutes remaining. Here we go. 1st and 10 coming up for the Texans, for the Bears. Swift in motion. And it'll be a screen to number 14. Can't quite tell who that is, but he is wrapped up, so it doesn't matter. It's a loss of 2 on the play. Fantastic defense tackling behind the line of scrimmage for Houston. And that will tick off quite a bit of time. Chicago, it might be worth, picking up the pace just a bit. Will Anderson, right from the beginning, he blows this up by not rushing the quarterback. He read that perfectly. He backs off. Great call by D'Amico Ryans. Backs off and goes straight for the screen. He knew exactly where it was going the entire time. Great job by Will Anderson on the play. 2nd and 11 coming up for Chicago. Play clock winding down. They get it off. He'll throw a quick one to DeAndre Swift, who gets absolutely hammered by number 39. Silly me. I don't know the number yet. I think my spreadsheet might have died. No, it's alive. I've got it back. All right, let's see. It was a To'o. Yeah, To'o. That's right. You know. 2-0. Who knows? Anyway, that'll be timeout number 2 for the Texans as they tried to get Henry To'o. I got it this time. Henry To'o. 13-3 for the Texans. 1:11 remaining here in the first half. 3rd and 9. Azeez Al-Shahir and Henry To'o highlight the linebacker unit for the Texans. Al-Shahir came from Tennessee, their rivals, and he was really good in Tennessee, and he's been pretty good so far in these first 2 games for Houston as well. Caleb Williams, false start on the offense, number 58, way obvious, as he jumped maybe a few feet back there. Offense number 58. Have a penalty, and that'll go back even farther. They're killing themselves on this one. 3rd and 14 coming up for the Chi-Town here. That's tough. Again, if you're a rookie quarterback like Caleb Williams, it's really tough to be put in these positions, these tough 3rd and long positions that because of comical offensive line mistakes put you into. It's not good. They have to find a way to fix that to give Caleb Williams even a marginal chance of being successful. Houston's showing pressure. They bring a little bit with their fancy footwork. Caleb Williams slicks one in. It's almost picked off, but there's a flag on the play by multiple referees, and that was aggressive and egregious pass interference. I mean, every single ref on the field threw the flag on that one. D'Amico Ryan's going, ooh, yeah, like he did it. I was on Bullock, the rookie. Smothered him. Great read there. He was so early. He was so incredibly early. He was on the floor before the ball was even near him. That caused 3 flags, and that'll give Chicago fantastic positioning. It'll be a 24-yard penalty on Bullock. And we'll see what they can do with the 1st and goal from the 6 here. Here comes Chicago knocking at the door. And here we go. Any second now. Oh, and a pre-snap motion. I saw it. It was on 84 on that one. Oh, my goodness. They were taking forever to take the snap, and then he jumped a little early. It's on offense, number 84, false start. Oh, man. Mercedes Lewis, according to my little spreadsheet up here. My magic. My sportscaster magic. But, yeah, he obviously lurched backwards a little. He knew it, too. He went, what? I thought you were calling it. Oh, and then he just immediately knew it. Mercedes Lewis and D'Amico Ryans were in the same draft and played for the Texans. That's crazy. They're ancient. Wow. All right. And Caleb Williams, under a lot of pressure, runs with it. He'll take a hit, puts his shoulder down, and gets nailed by 4 different defenders. And he'll get back. Oh, whoa. And the Bears getting a little defensive of their rookie quarterback there. He put his shoulder down. That was all on him. 2nd and goal coming up for Chicago. I don't see the problem there. I think that was all on him. He chose to put his shoulder down. 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. Clock is winding down. Caleb Williams will throw it, and it is good defense. Good job breaking up the attempt, heading towards Rome Odunze. That could have been Caleb Williams' game ball right there. Would have also been Rome Odunze's. Wonder how they would have done that. Their first touchdown was to Rome Odunze. Who would they have given the game ball to then? These are the questions we must ask. But that ball does fall incomplete. Great defense by Lassiter on the play. See if Chicago, they have 35 seconds to cash in here. Caleb Williams. They're loading the offensive line heavy. This is definitely a run. It's a handoff. Oh, they have the bounce off outside, and Khalil Herbert gets in for the score. Touchdown, Chicago. And the Bears are on the touchdown board. Their first offensive touchdown of the 2024 through 2025 NFL season, which will bring them within 3 of Houston. Khalil Herbert, they stacked the line, making everyone think they were going right there to them. And then they hit the blocker on the motion from the wide receiver. And then it's up to one defender on To'o to try to make the tackle on Herbert there, and he just could not. Great defense there. But they really covered that as best as they could at Houston. It was decent defense, but that is a Chicago score. And so the score will be 13-10. With 32 seconds remaining in the half, it's only natural to believe that Houston will just take a knee and send it to halftime. But Chicago finally has got the offense moving here on SNF. And the Texans only hold a 3-point lead as Chicago inches closer. Again, any questions you have about anything happening in the game, feel free to type in the chat. And while you're at it, since you're here, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notifications bell on the channel so that you get a notification every time one of these lives comes on. And subscribe, because that's definitely important, not just to me, to you too, to help you get all the insider scoop. That's right, I'm going to do it. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the other channel, RSquared's Monday Morning Mayhem. There has not been anything yet. It's a very fun, exclusive channel where there'll be stuff every time we hit like either a major milestone, such as a view milestone or a subscriber milestone. So there'll be one at 100 subscribers, one at 1,000 views, which we're close to, actually, very close to 1,000 views on the Chiefs Ravens live stream. I think it was at 800 last I checked. I said earlier. So that'll be interesting to see what video I'll do there. There'll be a Halloween one. For a stretch in mid-October through early November, there's not going to be any commentaries. I'm just warning you now. I'll be not in an accessible place. I'll leave it at that for now. That's a secret. So there will not be any commentaries through mid-October through then, but there will be recordings that will be posted on the other one. So there'll be some fun ones, maybe some picks, wink, wink. There'll be some fun acting stuff, Halloween video, obviously. Don't forget to, obviously tell me who in your opinion the spookiest team is ahead of Halloween. It was the night of All Hallows Eve, and only the Texans will remain. They're spooky. So yeah, if you have a spookiest team in mind, go ahead and comment whenever. Doesn't matter which video until then, and maybe I'll include them in the spookiest teams for Halloween video, which will be posted on the RSquared Monday Morning Mayhem channel. This one's just for live commentaries and talk shows, etc., etc. It's been really good, really fun, really successful. Tiring because obviously it's late here, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. You're dying. Is it because of the Halloween? Then you can become a ghost. That was terrible. Sorry, the mic. I was too close. A ghost. And so with the new dynamic kickoff, Houston will take control at the 30-yard line, but it'll likely be a kneel down and will take us into halftime. I will take a short break there. It'll be a 12-minute break, so you can leave and then come back in 12 minutes if you wish. I will not be here. I'll be doing something else. There's a false start on a kickoff? Okay. So Chicago was a legal formation. My mistake. Oh, my. Let's see it. Oh. He forgot the rules of the new dynamic kickoff there as he kind of ran past everyone. And an absolutely terrible mistake made by Chicago. The penalties have been terrible. They're not taking a knee here, so C.J. Stroud will take a bit of a pass here and will heave it over to Daryl Gunpowale, who somehow manages to stand on his feet. They're going to try to go hurry up. 20 seconds. Clock is winding down. 18. And Houston will call their final timeout. I believe. Yes, Houston will call their final timeout. Caleb Williams has gone 12-15 for 91 yards, and he's been sacked twice with a 91.9 QB rating. But C.J. Stroud has gone 13-16 for 157, a touchdown. He's been sacked once, but he's got a remarkable 128.4 quarterback rating. These two quarterbacks have been dueling it out. It seems like Houston can't seem to go through a game without making it an incredible show between quarterbacks. Next week we should have an interesting one between the recently risen to stardom Sam Darnold, I guess. That's fun. Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen. They have some pretty intense quarterback matchups on this one. If Jordan Love comes back in time for their October the 20th game against Green Bay, that'll be a lot of fun to watch on that one. Anyway, they are back. No timeouts remain for Houston. It's 22 seconds remain. Stroud's all alone. It's obviously a pass. And Stroud will air one out. And, oh, no way. That is incomplete. 17 seconds remain. They only took a second? There had to have been a bit of a problem with the clock there. No way that only took a second. I think Matt Eberflus is asking that exact question. Why did that only take a second? So 17 seconds remain for Houston on 2nd and 10 as they try to get into field goal range to try to make it 16-10 before the half. An interesting, bold move by Bobby Slawick and D'Amico Ryans here. I respect it. We'll see what they come up with here. Ogunbowale's in the backfield with Stroud. Stroud will go to throw. He's under pressure. He'll roll out, delivers a dart and a narrow one-handed juggling catch by Nico Collins, and it is in bounds. Kevin Byard was saying no, but Nico Collins, first down. That was what he did. I'm just doing what he did. He did that. Woo, woo, first down, yeah. Ooh, wait, that was close. Ooh, possession one. Ooh, I don't think he got that. I don't think that was in bounds. They might want to take another look at that one. They might want to take another look there. Get up to the line really fast if you're Houston. Take the snap. Take the snap. They didn't get it off. And it appears that there'll be a final timeout for Chicago to give the refs a bit of a chance to review, which is the correct thing to do. They can't challenge it, but the refs can. So they calling timeouts, just giving the refs a little bit to look on the Jumbotron and see, yep, okay, it's clear. I don't think he got it. I mean, as much as I'm rooting for Houston because I picked Houston to win this one, but I don't think he got it. That's possession one. Oh, wait, maybe. Wow, wait, that was close. I did not see that first foot before. Not possession, not possession, not possession, not possession, not possession, possession. Ooh, that is very close. Very, very close on whether he had the 2 feet down there. Tough call for the refs. It might be too little to overturn here. Ooh. Oh, that is so close. Even I can make that decision. I thought it was out at first on the initial look, but his foot might have still been down from the first. He's got it there. Oh, I think he got that. Wow. After further review, I do believe that is a catch. That is, in fact, a catch. On initial, it was out of bounds, but that's most certainly a catch. Wow, that was an incredible effort by Nico Collins, one-handed, and then somehow managing to get that one in there. And the ruling on the field stands as called. 9 seconds remain for Houston. We'll see what they can do here. Here, they're currently at the Chicago 36-yard line. Infield goal range for Kaimi Fairbairn. Oh, an early jump by the left tackle, Laramie Tunsil, it seems. That has flown over. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. I'm usually terrible with this, but I'm looking and I'm like, he jumped. He jumped. False start, Laramie Tunsil. I don't know, is it 72? Maybe? 78, close. But it is Laramie Tunsil. I just know that it's Laramie Tunsil because he's their left tackle. Laramie Tunsil, former Dolphin for those longtime Miami Dolphins fans out there. He was around back in the olden days, or as we now call them, ye olden days. 9 seconds remain. It'll be 1st and 15. That very well could have pushed him out of field goal range there. It'll be a tight kick for Kaimi Fairbairn. Coming up on this one. 1st and 15. And don't know what's going on here. There appears to be a stoppage. Jaquan Brisker, the captain for Chicago, is trying to get everything in order with head coach Matt Eberflus, and play clock's not moving, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the play call is for Bobby Slavic coming up here. There appears to be some sort of game timeout. All right, wait. So they awarded Chicago back a timeout because it was technically an official review, and they just used it, basically. All right, cool. So Stroud will drop back to pass, only one rushing, and he floats it into no man's land. He only saw one man's rush, and there's no hope in completing a pass. So Stroud will come off the field, and out will come Kaimi Fairbairn to try and attempt a long field goal attempt here, which will conclude the first half. This has been way too long. He made a 56-yarder to start open, and then made a 47-yarder earlier. Like, come on, man! I want to get a snack or something. It's halftime. It should be. 59-yard attempt. This is another really long field goal for Fairbairn. We'll see where it ends up. Snap is good. Hold is good, and the kick is good. good. He sneaks it in through the right up post, and it is nailed. 16-10 for Houston, and it's still not halftime. There's 1 second left here on the first half. I'm hungry. I am. I was going to go get a snack, but I mean, if the game ever goes to halftime, very good snap, very good hold, and just sneaks it in from the right up, from the left upright from him, right from where the camera angle was. Right through the left upright, just narrowly sneaks it through. Great kick by Kaimi Fairbairn. So that 50-yard field goal is nailed. So the Texans have a 6-point lead, which means they'll probably end up squibbing a kick here. Well, they can't do that anymore, actually. Who knows what they're going to do then? Just something probably a short kickoff, just to get them to return it, knock off the 1 second. Not that it matters. I just really don't want Chicago to do the whole, maybe we should take a Hail Mary shot at it just for the heck of it, No. CJ Stroud happy with the way that kick came out. D'Amico Ryans all smiles on the Houston bench, up by 6 here. Very nearly into halftime. So Kaimi Fairbairn trying out some way to try to waste a second on this. 1 singular second on the new dynamic kickoff. And he just boots it. Wow. Oh, and they'll actually choose to return it and knock off the second for them. Nice. Ooh. And the legs taken out from DeAndre Carter as an amazing open field tackle by Houston sends us right into the half. Chicago will receive the second half kickoff. Thank you so much for watching the first hour and 40 minutes of this commentary. We'll be back for the other hour and 40. After a 12-minute break, I'm going to go make myself a snack, make myself a new drink, and then I'll be right back for the second half. I'll be muted, so if I'm not making sound, that's why. Although I will test it out just to make sure that it does not go haywire right now. Check, 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 check. All right, we're good. See you after the break, after halftime, 12 minutes. See you then. What is wrong with this thing? It's broken. My sound is wild today. Is it actually? That's crazy. I don't know what to do. Oh, it is. Wow, that's crazy. All right. I don't want to push this button because it bothers me. But whatever. Who is it? What are you talking about? No, I was just talking about the game. It's a good one. I don't want to push the mute button. Why isn't the wait? I thought the mic was connected. Is it not connected? This is kind of a train wreck. All right. I think that was me opening a door. All right. Looks like no snack for me yet. What is wrong with this thing? No, we don't. There's no dog. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I don't trust it, but I'm gonna do that. Hopefully it works when I come back. Whoa, hey. Tom Grossi's here. Yo. What's up, Tom? Go Pack Go. How's it going? Wait, welcome in. Yo, what's up, Tom Grossi? I am a Dolphin. Fins up. Fins up. The Grossi Posse's here. I am proud to say I am a member of the Grossi Posse, y'all. I am a member. I am a member of the Grossi Posse. All right. Fins up. Let's go. Fins up. Nice. Oh, man, this is so cool. Hey. Love for Tua. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm commentating on Texas Bears today. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, honestly, the season's kind of done, but I'm optimistic. Thanks for the raid, everybody. Thanks for the raid. I want Tannehill. I do. I kind of want Tannehill. Wow, wait, did I? Really? You're crazy. Wait, what? I have to check that. No way. Right? Someone just said I passed 100 subs. That's crazy. Wait, really? Wait, I actually have to check this. Hold up. If I did, thanks, Grossi Posse. You guys are awesome. No way, right? Surely not. Oh my goodness, I did. Oh my goodness, thank you guys so much. Oh, this means so much to me. Thank you, Grossi Posse. Let's go. Let's go, Tom. Go Pack Go. Go Pack Go. All right, thank you guys so much. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for subscribing. Thanks, Posse. You guys are awesome. Go Packer Nation. Thank you. Thank you for the raid, everybody. Most certainly. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh man, this is crazy. I can't believe like I'm the only one in the house even like here right now, because everyone else is like asleep because I'm in Europe, so it's like late. But no one's here to see this. This is absolutely crazy. Thank you. You were here before the thousands. Thank you. Fins up, Tracy. Fins up. Thank you so much, everyone. This is crazy. Oh man. Oh, thank you all. Means so much to me. 200 likes. That's good. Wait, I've just promised like earlier in this video that I was gonna do like another video for. Thank you, Colin. That I was gonna do like another video every time like I hit like a major milestone. Now I have to do like 4. Ah, you crazy. Oh man, thanks, Tom. Thanks, Grossi Posse. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I can't believe I almost missed this. I was about to go get a snack. Oh. Man, thank you, Mike Error. God has an amazing way to do things. I mean, wow. I was having mic issues, so I had to come back. That's crazy. Wow. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you, Mark. I will. Have a great one. Have a great one. This is absolutely crazy. I promise I am subscribed, Tom. If he's here, I am. Yeah, I'm in Europe. I am 100% in Europe. I am in Europe. Yeah. I'm not quite a Saints fan. He's not even there. I'm watching it right now. You guys just like solo swarmed over. That's nice. I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Dolphins fan, but I've been to Jets and Saints games. The Dolphins lost, but they were a lot of fun, great environment. But I do like the Saints. I was very happy because I hate the Cowboys. No offense, Dallas fans, but I've never been much of a Cowboys fan. So a lot of fun to see the Saints beat up on them. Thoughts on the Bills? I mean, they're a great team. Obviously, I'm not thrilled about all that's happening. All that's happening with like Tua and all that. And after Thursday, I was watching that and it was kind of disappointing. But yeah, me and every other Cowboys fan. Technically the Jets Dolphins game that I saw was in England. It was in the England series, but yeah. But the Bills games, they're a good team. They'll go far this year. Obviously, their wide receiver room needs a bit of work, but as Keon Coleman keeps adapting into the offense, I think he can do a really great job in the future. But yeah, obviously, Buffalo's a good team, but definitely have to develop a little more. Josh Allen's currently the one that's keeping the Buffalo afloat right now. So I really hope that at some point in the future, I'm not a Bills fan. But I always say here on the channel, I'm a sports fan above anything else. Sports fan, Dolphins fan, then everything else. So the Bills, good team. They have a lot of places they can go. They just need a slightly better wide receiver unit. Dalton Kincaid's going places. James Cook's going places. Their defense could use some work, but otherwise they're a very good team. What are your thoughts on the Vikings? I've never been much of a Sam Darnold fan, like mostly because he was a Jet once, but he was a Jet once. I've never been like a huge fan of him, but of Sam Darnold, but he's actually played really well. He's played very, very well, and I've been pleasantly surprised, very pleasantly surprised. What these wristbands? They're not really for anything. They're more decorative. I just keep them on. They're nice. They have some Bible verses on them and stuff, but they're nice. They're cool. How's the Chiefs Bengals game? Oh, it was good. I mean, that last pass interference penalty, oof, crazy stuff. Crazy. Unexpected. Went, oh, how did they blow the game? Like they blew the game up. That was Cincinnati's own fault. They hurt themselves. They had a real good shot, but in the end, it was on them. The reason they lost was completely self-inflicted. No, he did get there earlier. It wasn't the ref's fault. It was just completely their own fault. It was all on Cincinnati. He got there way early. It was the excitement of the play. Yeah. So you're a Vikings fan that's a part of the Grossi posse? What's up with that? Huh? That's what I thought. Vikings fan? Huh? Thank you. Means a lot.
To 1 million, admin. All right? We're on the road to 1 million.
Sorry, I just turned on Tom Grassi's stream real quick since you all are here, but he's just talking about his own path to 1 million. Yeah, thank you, Lefel. I appreciate it. So yeah, the game's back, so I'm gonna keep commentating, but I'm still watching. See, I'm still watching the live chat, but I'm gonna commentate a little. Kaimi Fairbairn getting set to kick off for Houston on this one using the new dynamic kickoff. We haven't seen as big of results as we would have wanted. I pointed this out multiple times so far today, mostly because I just think, frankly, it's disappointing. Thank you, Kasal, you too. They're doing a report right now. Of course, I don't have that one, but I would like to say that this video is sponsored by the Carmona Law Firm. Let our family help your family. Coach Matt Eberflus says, we feel we are in this game and we are going to go down and score a touchdown. Caleb Williams has actually had a very good game for Chicago so far in this one. He's been very efficient. He's been a pleasant surprise for Chicago all around. 91 yards, 12 of 15. He's had a really great game. He's been very accurate. He's had a very good quarterback rating. He's been sacked a couple times, but that's really more on the O-line than himself. The yards need to go up a little bit. Overall, he's had a very productive game. And those nice drives have been well. He tosses it down to the tight end. I believe that's Cole Kmet. That'll go for about 2 yards on a dump down. You see, they had 3 men in the backfield. There was no way. There was only 3 linebackers, only so many of them to keep track of. And Kmet just started with the block and kind of just slipped out of the coverage there, right into the middle of the zone. Great vision by Caleb Williams, seeing the open man. Nice gain of 3. Caleb Williams under center. Swift in the backfield. Caleb Williams. Man in motion, hands it off to Swift. He's got 1 man to beat. Cannot. Aziz Al-Shahir comes up with the tackle. That'll be about a gain of 4 or 5 on the play. 3rd down coming up for Chicago. It'll be 3rd and 3 at their own 37. 13:55 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Texans up by 6. Very impressive showdown between 2 very good high drafted quarterbacks in this one. Texans have overwhelmingly destroyed them in the rushing game, but maybe Chicago can do some more to change that. Williams all alone under a lot of pressure. He'll throw deep to Carter and overshoots DeAndre Carter on that one. Lassiter in coverage. He just missed him a little there. He felt the pressure, threw a little too hard. If he had a little more time, thanks to the offensive line, then maybe he would have been able to get that one off a little faster and a little more on target because he had him on that route overhead for most of his route. He just couldn't get past the pressure on that one. Narrow miss. And so with 4th and 3, the Chicago Bears will be forced to punt away back to the CJ Stroud, or as the Grassy Posse calls them, the Strouds. They're just the Strouds. He does look good. CJ Stroud's looked really good so far. Ooh, and a mean hit by Blackwell, should I say, for the Bears, taking the legs right out from under him. Stroud has always looked good. Boat nerd, 173 yards, a touchdown, 14 and 19. He's been incredible so far today. I've been talking about since the beginning how Stroud has looked like an MVP candidate. They are the Strouds. They're the Strouds. I said it at the beginning, as some people may call them the Strouds. It was like a silent, discreet reference to the Grassy Posse. It was. But no, he looked really good against Indianapolis. He's looking really good against Chicago now. He's been really solid. He was really good last season. Good is like understatement of the century. He was phenomenal last season. And he's got a couple of what I would like to say easy games coming up, but you never know. Indianapolis, after the Colts got smoked by Green Bay. Go Grossi, but I mean that was kind of embarrassing for Indianapolis against Malik Willis. And they struggled with them. Now they're struggling again with Chicago. Then they have Minnesota, who's actually thrived. They could struggle with them. They have the Jaguars, who've struggled, but maybe they could give them a challenge. Rivalry game. It is in Houston, though, so we're taking into account. Then they have Buffalo. I actually have that one as a loss for Houston against Buffalo, but I think it's going to be a tight game. I have it a loss for Houston, my mistake. Buffalo gets the win there. But overall, the Texans' schedule is very manageable, but they definitely need to show a bit more defensive efficiency, which I haven't been seeing against Anthony Richardson. Their deep game was pretty bad. Their secondary needed a lot of work, and I really found that Anthony Richardson kind of abused the deep ball in game one. And now in this one, Caleb Williams is just having his way by just throwing mid-range towards the sideline. Oftentimes it's DJ Moore. 3 times it's DJ Moore just on that little sideline route. He throws to the tight end on the dump down. They're allowing too many small 10-yard gain options for Caleb Williams, which is a rookie quarterback's dream. I mean, you give him the tough passes, chances are he's going to have a lot of issues on that one. But they're giving him like super easy dump downs, like I'm just going to throw 2 yards. And then it's on the wide receiver. They're giving him too easy of a job right now, and I think they have to start either putting the pressure on him a little bit better, start wrapping around, keep a quarterback spy on him a bit, or definitely dial up the short range pressure, force him to throw deep, make the uncomfortable passes. I'm excited to see JJ McCarthy too. I thought he was really good in college. He looked sharp in the preseason. I mean, preseason means nothing, but preseason. I enjoy watching it anyway. CJ Stroud starting from his own 10 with Mixon in the backfield next to him. Nico Collins in motion. Mixon will take the shovel, and he'll go for about a gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7 coming up for 2nd down and 9. They're going to give him a very, very ungenerous spot there. I thought that was at least 2 or 3. Yeah, they gave him 2. But JJ McCarthy, yeah, he should be good. I mean, Justin Jefferson injury may be something to be concerned about now after earlier today's game. But we'll see against Houston next week, Minnesota, Houston. There is an injured player down. It is the chain gang. A member of the chain gang's down, I believe. I did not see what happened. I mean, that's why they're getting rid of them at the end of the year. They're going to try to do that like digital stuff. I feel like it didn't really work though. If I'm being honest, they still needed the chain gang quite a bit. It didn't eliminate the use for them. So he was over there on the edge. Let's see what happened. He tripped over the sign. He tripped over the 20-yard line. He got injured tripping over the 20-yard line. No, self-inflicted injury. All right, cool. He's only out for the nice. All right, so Justin Jefferson's all good then. That's good to hear. He had a great game against there. Speaking of who else had a great game, how about Alvin Kamara for the Saints? 4 touchdowns. I'm glad I wasn't playing him in fantasy. My dad was playing him in fantasy. I got to watch him get smoked by the 46 PPR league. Alvin Kamara. Destruction. I had so much fun watching that. I had so much fun watching Green Bay beat up on Dallas in the playoffs last year. I'm like, yes! Like, this is amazing every year. Just watch Green. It was so much fun. I just enjoy watching Dallas get beat up on. I really do. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be like the Chiefs playing the Cowboys, and if they beat them up, I'm fine. I'm perfectly happy. It's a good day when the Cowboys lose. That's what I always say. It's a good day when the Cowboys lose. Any Eagles fans would agree with me. Let's look at some fun statistics for the day. The Bears have actually dominated the possession game by over a minute, but Houston has otherwise controlled the game. More total yards. They have 3 more first downs than Chicago at 10-7, and almost like an insane amount more yards than them, about 100. 207-98 is the comparison. And Houston currently has a 73.6% chance of winning this game per ESPN Analytics. So next week I will be yeah, I know. Same old. Next week, it's kind of a toss-up, so I'll kind of do whatever. Whether it's Jags, Bills, Commanders, Bengals, or Chiefs, Falcons. I'm not doing Patriots, Jets. I already said it earlier. I'm not wasting my time with the Patriots and the Jets on Thursday Night Football, so I'll either be commentating on SNF for Chiefs, Falcons, or MNF for either Jags, Bills, or Commanders, Bengals. So that'll be fun. Yeah, they did. It was fun to watch, though. I enjoyed that so much. More than you could possibly understand. It was like, they're getting destroyed. I mean, as a Dolphins fan, like, at one point, I don't particularly care what happens to the Cowboys. I just think it's hilarious. Like, oh, this is their year. Their year. Absolutely. It's their year, everyone. No. It's always their year. I don't tend to do mid-afternoon games, but I might make an exception for Ravens Cowboys next week. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's really up to whoever comments until the playoffs draw. Down below, whether they want me to do the Chiefs or Falcons or the Jaguars and Bills game. It's between the two of them. It's kind of a toss-up at this point. If the Falcons beat the Eagles tomorrow night, then I'm probably going to do the Falcons and Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. That'll be the second time I've commentated on the Chiefs this season. First one went very well. But I have a good feeling this one's going to get more views. Just a feeling. Although number one, 800, not bad. Not bad at all. 2nd and 9 coming up for Houston here with 13 minutes. They're carting off the chain gang member who got injured by tripping over a sign. Caleb Williams trying to stay warm on the bench. 16-10. Houston with the lead with 13-13 remaining here in the third quarter. It's gonna be a long one, at least. I mean, this game is the first half went way longer than I expected. Originally, I was like, 1 second, like, just let me go get a snack. I left my cup downstairs, so I'm gonna be going like on my one voice, like no refreshments, because the Grassi Posse came. Can't miss them. That was crazy. Thank you guys so much, by the way. Did I already say that? So if you are here, there's an alternate channel for the exponential. So on the exponential, we take sports to the second power, we analyze things to the third power, and we make sure to review all the dimensions of the fourth power. And but another sort of channel that we have here is I also on the side am an actor. So there is another channel called RSquared's Monday Morning Mayhem. My name is RSquared for reference. And it's down at the bottom of the exponential, as are most of the alt channels for main channels. And you can go down there, and there will be some fun content. There's nothing there yet. There's only one subscriber right there right now. There's no content yet, but there will be starting in October for sure. Definitely during a stretch of mid-October to early November, where I just won't be doing any live streams because I'll be someplace where I cannot live stream. CJ Stroud drops back to pass, hits his man in stride. It's Nico Collins for a gain of almost 20. I would say that's about 17 or 18. And that'll go for a Texans first down. No, the Jags did not look good today. It was a very disappointing game. And being from Florida, I know some Jaguars fans, and they were definitely not happy about the game. And I mean, the Browns didn't even play well either. Like, I would still be concerned about the Browns, but still. CJ Stroud rolls out play action under a lot of pressure, forced to dump it off. To Brevin Jordan, I believe. No, not to Brevin Jordan, to Tank Dell. Who, the Jaguars? Yes, they did. They did have that one good season and then fell off. They're currently showing an old clip of the Texans and Cardinals. Of course, Andre the Giant. No. They should have called. I think that was his name, Andre Johnson there. And Nico Collins basically did the exact same thing. Wow, that's crazy. No, that's very cool. Yeah, the Jags did fall off after one season. It was a very surprising season. It was a great storyline. But they kind of got crushed late in games in the fourth quarter. Uh-oh. There is an injured Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is down and hurt. He took a bit of a screen, and it looks like a hamstring injury. Ouch. Yeah. Ooh, oh, that actually looks pretty bad. Oh, that muscle's not supposed to be bulging there, huh? This could actually be a serious injury. He did walk off on his own power, but he's going into the blue tape. So he did walk off on his own power, which is saying something. So it's probably not like a tear. It's unlikely a tear, but it could be like a muscle pull. Stroud steps up in the pocket under pressure, and he throws. He's got a man wide open. It's Tank Dell who drops it. That would have gone for almost 30 to 40 yards, and Tank Dell drops it down the field. Oh, CJ Stroud had him. He nailed him, but Tank Dell just can't reel it in. So 4th and 4 coming up for Houston, which will leave the ball back to Chicago. Man, I can't believe he dropped that. It hit him right in the hands. If he had caught that in stride, he was gone. That was a touchdown if he had caught that in stride. In stride from Stroud. And the punt. It is going to be a good one. Nice punt. I mean, Tommy Townsend coming from Kansas City takes a good Texans bounce, and that'll be down at the 7-yard line. So the Bears will start their drive at their own 7 after a great special teams play. I just started. This is not an old channel, Boat Nerd. It's because it had a different name originally. The lives are a brand new thing. I just started it a month ago, which is why there's so few of them. But before, it used to be the same content that's now going to be on the alternate channel, which is the RSquared's Monday Morning Mayhem channel, which you can check out down in the other channel section of the Exponential. Caleb Williams at his own 7, first-round pick out of USC. He's done a pretty nice job today, but he's backed up to his own end zone so far early in this third quarter. Williams takes the snap. Drops back, under pressure. He'll throw one up, and that was a little handsy, and there's the flag. A little bit of a holding there. No, yeah, so from now on, there is going to be a live every week for a commentary, and there's also going to be a live every week for an hour, and it's going to be a talk show. Illegal contact on the defense. They called pass interference on that. I did not think he had any chance of catching that. They must be. You're right, Fire. They probably just were insane. Because I was so confused because I was like standing up to go get a sack, and all of a sudden I just like over on the live chat. I'm like, what's happening? And I am a big fan of Tom Grassi, so it was very cool. I probably would have been watching if I wasn't doing this right now. Caleb Williams. It's 1st and 10 after that pass interference call. I thought it was a little bit of an iffy call by the refs. They'll hand it off to DeAndre Swift, who gets swarmed in the backfield for a down and a loss of 3 or 4. No, I can't wait to check the channel stats at the end of this. I hit over 100 subscribers, so that was crazy. That was very crazy. I have to do like an entire separate video now just because thanks to you. No, I'm kidding. It's great. I'm having a lot of fun. My mods who are currently sleeping are going to wake up and they're going to be like, what happened? Yeah. Caleb Williams. It's 2nd and 14 on the loss of 4 on the run by DeAndre Swift. There'll be play action. He's under a lot of pressure. He'll throw one up. A lot of hand fighting over there. They won't call it towards Odunze. 3rd and 14 coming up for Chicago. Mixon is heading to the locker room, which would mean I would assume his day is done. It looks like his right leg, like a muscle, like kind of bulged out towards his Achilles area, which isn't a good sign. But at the same time, he did walk off, so maybe he just pulled it. But he walked off on his own power, so good signs. Caleb Williams directing traffic for the Chicago offense on 3rd and 14. They're running out of time. 2-1. They get the snap off. Pressure coming. He's coming from behind. He escapes pressure. He's under a lot of pressure. He'll end up running it. The 15, and he won't get that first down. It's pushed out of bounds by Azeez Al-Shahir. Yeah, he did. It is Sam. He did have a great week 1. I mean, he'll be back, even if it's... I don't think it's a tear. Yeah, he will be. He'll get to go to town on Dallas. So a little bit of a late hit on Al-Shahir, by Al-Shahir on Caleb Williams, but they will not call it. And so Chicago will be punting from their own end zone. 4th and 4. And it's a pretty good punt. Goes all the way back to the Texans 25. They'll take that one out. They'll take it to the 30, the 35. There's a flag down. He breaks through 40 and down to the midfield marker. But there is a flag on the play. We'll see where this one goes. There's an injured Chicago Bear on the special teams unit. They could be. I was actually kind of surprised. I was very surprised that the Cardinals did as well as they did today. Holding on the receiving team on the same guy. Yeah, they very well could be. I mean, I do like the Rams quite a bit, but without Puka and with Matthew Stafford at like 50% and without Cooper Kupp, they're nothing. They're just not a team. And it kind of looked that way against Arizona. So, I mean, we didn't get a fully healthy Rams team, which is worth considering. But yeah. But it definitely was a good performance by Arizona. Kyler Murray played really well. He had a perfect passer rating, which is crazy to me because Kyler Murray is, in my opinion, in most people's opinions over the last few years, not all that good. But he's turning it around this year. CJ Stroud drops back to pass. He looks like he was going deep, changed his mind under a lot of pressure, throws under duress, and almost caught, but that'll be out of bounds? It was actually a really good catch, but I think he was out. No, definitely. The Cardinals could be a wild card team. Yeah. I had the number 1 pick in my fantasy draft, and I could have taken CMC. I didn't. Because I'm like, I do not take CMC. I've never taken Christian McCaffrey. I've gotten the number 2 pick twice in fantasy and the number 1 pick once, and I've never taken Christian McCaffrey because he gets hurt too often. He played 1 full complete season in all 6-7 years of his career. CJ Stroud drops back to pass. He'll throw a laser, and it is incomplete, although there's a bit of contact before the play. Yeah, I know. I took Tyreek as number 1, which I may be regretting at this point also. But honestly, my biggest steal of the draft so far has been, let's see, who has been the biggest steal of the draft? I'm trying to remember my fantasy team. I really haven't been paying that much attention this week. No, I don't know. It was a pretty good draft though for me. I got some good players. I got Lamar Jackson and Tyreek Hill on the same fantasy team. So, but anyway, what do you think about A-Rod and the Jets without the Dolphins bias? Without the Dolphins bias, I think they're gonna be fine. They're gonna finish with a wild card spot. They're not gonna take the division from Buffalo. They're probably gonna finish either 10-7 or 9-8. It's not going to be a perfect year for them, and they're not going to make the Super Bowl. And I think the hype is too big, but they're going to be good, but they're not going to be nearly as amazing and incredible as people hype them up to be. there was a massive false start penalty, which caused the entire Chicago defense to move early. So, no, he's not. CJ Stroud drops back to pass in his own end zone, and he'll miss his target completely, bringing up 4th and 15, so the Texans will punt. Very slow-moving game here in Houston. He's really not getting as much. 8-9, nice. I haven't gone through their schedule recently, like since they started playing. I went through it at the beginning, and I got 9-8. But 9-8 was like ideal for me. Like split the Dolphins, split the Bills. But I don't think they're going to split the Bills anymore. So it probably is more like 8-9. The Texans are punting from the back of their own end zone, and that one will be booted to around midfield, and they'll field it, and that'll be picked up at about the 44 of Chicago, is where Caleb Williams will start his drive. There is a flag on the play, though. Garrett Wilson is not getting as much targets. Yeah. I don't know what's up with them, but maybe it's just because Aaron Rodgers is a grandpa and he likes his older targets better. And there's a holding on Chicago, on Hicks. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Big holding. Very obvious. Who's winning the NFC South? That's an interesting question. I have Tampa Bay winning the AFC South at this point. It's actually turning out tighter than I thought it would. With the Falcons and the Saints. Well, not the Falcons anymore, but the Saints putting on a big shows throughout the first 2 weeks. But I still believe Tampa Bay is the tougher team. They put on the best shows against the tougher teams. I mean, the win against Detroit was massive for them. So it is in commercial break. 8:56 remaining in the third quarter. So I'm taking Tampa Bay. I mean, I'm not someone who particularly cares for the Bucs. I have a Falcons bag behind me, but that was gifted. So I've never been to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I've never seen a Falcons game. But I've never had it. I thought Kirk Cousins would be better than he was, but I never came into the season with the expectation that they would beat the Bucs. I always had the Bucs winning the NFC South. So yeah, I have Tampa Bay. On the next commercial, I'm gonna go downstairs and get a drink because I need my drink. I left it downstairs. So I went downstairs because I was told that my mic was still on. And I'm like, oh no. So I came back up and then I got rated. So that was fun. I'm gonna have a cookie. All right. See you, Boat Nerd. Thank you. Yeah, it'll be next week. It'll either be Falcons, Chiefs, or on Monday Night Football with the Jags and the Bills. One of the two. See you then. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen already the other one with the Chiefs and the Ravens live, or at least started it, it was a lot of fun. I went a bit crazy towards the end because it had been a long night, but really the funniest thing is that we were playing a little game. Is that every time we saw Taylor Swift, had to eat something, like just anything. You just had to eat something. Oh yeah, absolutely. Hydrate. Stay hydrated, everyone. Very important. I'm from Florida. I know all about hydration, but in Europe, it's kind of like you drink too much. It's kind of weird because they're like the opposite of Floridians, if that makes sense. Because they're like, stop! Why are you drinking so much? You bring your cup everywhere. Stop drinking so much. I'm like, why? I'm like, you'll explode. I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, I'll be fine. It's always got something to do with water with them. You drink 4 of those today. I'm like, yeah, that's the normal amount to drink. I've only had 3 today, so I'm still short one. Who's winning the AFC North? I do not know. So let's see. We got bad. We got Cleveland, who's bad. We got Pittsburgh, who's worse. We have Cincinnati, who's looking worse, and then we have Baltimore, who's playing bad. So there's really no good option But if I had to choose one, I would think it would be Baltimore. But that's just from like beginning of the season. But after week 2, it's looking more like Cincinnati, but really it's kind of like coin flip. Who knows? Second down coming up for Cincinnati. There is an update on Joe Mixon. 1 second. See if I can lip read a little. He's questionable to return with an ankle injury, so not nearly as bad as we thought. Probably a sprained ankle, and he could come back. So Caleb Williams, he's got DeAndre Swift in the backfield with him at their own 35-yard line. 2nd and 9. Caleb Williams, under a lot of pressure, steps up, throws across his body, and that is intercepted. And Lassiter picks it off for the Texans. There is a flag on the play, but it's looking like it's going to be the Texans taking away Caleb Williams on that one. Caleb Williams looks like he's shaken up a little bit after that one. Oh, and there's a holding on the defense, which will call back the interception on Henry To'o. That's going to be fun if I ever do the Texans again. Henry To'o. Yes. He crossed his body and then got nailed afterwards, and it was intercepted, but called it back because of the holding penalty. Tough angle. He got absolutely nailed at the end of that one. Shaken up a little bit, but he seems all right. NFC North. At the beginning of the year, I thought it was Packers, but until they have Jordan Love back, I don't see them getting off to as fast as a start. Caleb Williams does a screen pass towards DJ Moore. DJ Moore breaking some tackles, putting some nice moves on him, and somehow manages to get a great effort to get the first down to reset the downs for Chicago. But at the moment, I think it's going to be Detroit, just for now. Although I would very much like Green Bay to win because I always show it off on this channel. I was in Atlanta. And I was doing a show for someone, helping with like their talk show, like a radio show. And they asked who, it was a few years back. They're like, who do you think is the absolute best player that is coming? So this was at the time when Jordan Love was just taking over for Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers went down, Jordan Love came in right after this play. There's a flag, never mind. So right after Aaron Rodgers left for New York a couple of years ago, they're like, do you think Jordan Love's, like, who do you think the best quarterback's going to be basically coming in the new year? I said Jordan Love. Like Jordan Love's going to be the best quarterback in the league in a few years. He's going to be incredible. They're like, what are you talking about? Like Jordan Love, he's just some kid out of Utah. He's been a backup all his life. And I'm like, you watch, because I watched him in college play at Utah. He was really impressive. His clips were very impressive. I was very happy when they drafted him in Green Bay. And after this play, real quick, Caleb Williams, a little bit of trickeration, rolls to his right, takes the run. He'll take a hit from Azeez Al-Shahir. And there's a bit of a scuffle on the sideline. Thank you, Firecar. See you next time. Please do. See you then. And a big kerfuffle on the sideline. It looks like, I don't know if there's going to be any flags on. The play there was a clean hit. He was in bounds. He took the hit. He put his shoulder down and took it. No, yep, that was inbounds. He was not defenseless. He was not trying to get out of bounds. He lowered his shoulder. It was a clean hit by Al-Shahir. They got him up, and they just started going at it. He threw a punch there, the Bears player, and then things started getting a little aggressive on an enemy sideline, which I do not recommend. Just for anyone, period. Do not start a fight on the opposing team's sideline. It's not going to go well. So it is. They haven't called any flags yet. It doesn't look like they will. It looks like they're just going to leave them with the call that they had. Even though there was a punch there, so I'm wondering. Yeah, that was a big time punch and a push. I wonder why they didn't call that. Caleb Williams is in shotgun. He'll take the snap. He'll throw a screen to DeAndre Swift. Swift makes a man miss. Swift gets away from him and almost gets to the first down. A nice little broken tackle. That'll go for about 10 or 11 on the play. Taking my headphones off. It's very hard to keep headphones on for an extended period of time. I think I killed my spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet here with all the names on it on my other device, but it's not opening. Hello? Oh, it is dead. Oh, man. I gotta fix that on the next commercial break. But yeah, 3rd and 1 coming up is a 14-yard gain. Caleb Williams. Swift's next to him in the pocket. Play action, under a lot of pressure, nailed from behind and taken down around midfield. And the Texans defense gets home. Caleb Williams will be taken down for the 4th time today. 6 minutes remain here in the 3rd quarter. And he gets nailed. Will Anderson Jr. all over him on that one. He just comes right across the edge. Caleb Williams doesn't see him, and he rips him down. Tough hit taken by Caleb Williams there. Offensive line's got to be better than this. They have to be much better than this. Caleb Williams obviously frustrated as Chicago is forced to punt yet again. And this punt will pin Chicago at about the 16 to 17 yard line. Oh, they're giving them a good spotting over here. We'll see when we come back. Give me 1 second. I have to plug in something to make sure it works again, and I'll be right back before the end of the commercial break. I'm back. All right. See, that didn't take long at all. Yeah, again, thank you to the Crossy Posse for rating earlier. That's crazy. I mean, I never do these live, like one of the first times, and that's absolutely crazy. So yeah, thanks a lot. I'm blown away. I really am. So thank you to you guys. Thank you to Tom Grassi. I'm gonna have to watch his stuff more. I mean, I do. I watch all of his stuff, but I gotta be more active on his lives too. I mean, if he's doing this for me, I mean, seriously, that's crazy. I have no statistics to give you right now because I don't have my spreadsheet. But if there's any questions, you can go ahead and ask them in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Yeah, so I'll be more than happy to answer if you have any questions in the chat. Go ahead and type them in, and I'll answer them. I'm gonna text one of my mods real quick to tell them about the raid. So yeah, this is really cool. It's actually crazy to me. I think it's great. It's absolutely fantastic. So I'm really excited for the rest of the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter in here. Man, Justin Timberlake looks old. Just seeing that, I'm like, Justin Timberlake is ancient compared to me. I'm super young, super youthful. Although my back's old. I mean, this chair doesn't have a back, so it's kind of painful. But oh wow, that's cool. I would eat there. 1st and 10 at the 24, thanks to the generous spot by the ref. CJ Stroud will drop back to pass, and he'll throw to Dalton Schultz for the first time, which will go for about a gain of 4 or 5 on the play. It appears that Joe Mixon's also returned to the game, from the looks of it. I don't know for certain, but I thought that was him. he's on the bench. He's not in the game. He's on the elliptical at this moment, getting some exercise to try and warm back up and see if he's good to go to return to the game. 2nd and 5 coming up. Dell in motion. Hand off to number 22. That's Cam Akers. I got it. Cam Akers goes for about 7 or 8 yards on the carry, which will bring up first down. 4:45 remaining in the third quarter. Houston's up by 6 in this largely defensive battle between one AFC powerhouse and the Chicago Bears, who have pleasantly surprised me today in this game. I mean, they played really well against Tennessee. Yeah, Joe Mixon's out there. He's moving full speed. He's warming up. He's almost ready to go, it seems. And this time, Robert Woods is in motion. Stroud's having to roll out, throw on the run, and he just throws it away. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Texans. Joe Mixon does seem about ready to come back in. He's got his helmet on. He's already all warmed up. At Indianapolis, he rushed 30 times for 159 yards and a touchdown, but tonight he's only taking it 7 times for 20 yards. So hopefully when he comes back in, he'll be in with a renewed momentum of sorts. CJ Stroud drops back to pass, and he'll almost it is intercepted. The Bears are still running with it, and it's almost gone. He's gone. Touchdown. A pick 6. Gordon. Chicago scored. Let's see if he reeled that in. Ooh, well, that's close. I think he might. Oh, I don't know. Did he have control there? It's kind of the question. Very close. Very, very close. He almost had it. Oh, wait, did he have it? It looks like it bounced off against the... that's incomplete. They're calling it incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up for Houston. Stroud drops back again. He'll just spike it at the floor when pressure comes at him. But there might have been something else to it. Oh, Chicago's challenging. So Matt Eberflus is challenging for the 2nd time in the game about whether it is an interception returned for a touchdown or an incomplete pass. It was close, but I do think he did not have possession. I don't think he had possession. I think it's incomplete. Yeah, I don't think you got that. I'm eating these delicious, they're like these chocolate macaroons, they're coconut chocolate macaroons. They're really good. Only in Europe. Only in Europe will you find coconut chocolate macaroons. They're good, though. They're delicious. And I mean, keep in mind, it is 4 a.m. over here. And I've been up for a while, and I haven't eaten in about 7 hours. But it's all good. I do this for fun. That movie looks good. The whole Transformers 1 movie, I think it looks good. Very interesting. Not sponsored by or any of the affiliates though, but still looks good. I love doing that. It's like a joke on my channel almost. Like every time I mention a brand, I say it just for fun mostly. I mean, I don't make any money off of this, so. A lot of fun. Wow, this has been such a crazy night. I mean, it was going calmly, and then, oh man, the Grossi Posse showed up. Great, what a wild day. Oh man. Absolutely crazy. I said I was going to get my cup, but I don't need it yet. I should go get it soon. Very soon. I'm just telling all my mods one by one. about all the subscribers and stuff. Like there's so much happening. I mean, there's not that many of them, but still, like one by one, like help. I thought I was being attacked for a second. I'm like, there's like 400 people here. No, it was cool. I'm not commentating Patriots Jets. No. They just did an ad for it. I'm like, no. And the call will stand as original, and it is an incomplete pass. That's what I thought. It looked like it popped free from the ground right there. I think that was the right call by the officials. I think it was incomplete. So Houston will have a chance at 3rd and 10. No, yeah, it was definitely incomplete. 3rd and 10 for Houston at their own 35. Stroud backs up. He's passing under a lot of pressure, and he is taken down. And the Bears' defense has been filled with newfound life as 4 minutes left in the third quarter in a very slow-moving third quarter. Like, wow. It's been an hour-long third quarter since halftime because it was at 1:40, and now it's at 2:40 since I've started. So it's been a long one. Absolutely crazy. CJ Stroud. Yeah, CJ Stroud just got taken down really hard there. I mean, offensive line has to do much better work than that. And it'll be and he is absolutely nailed at the 35 of Chicago. He gets hit with all of the momentum of 4 Texans on that one as he is absolutely slammed. Let's see that again. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. He got hammered there. Ow. That crack, if you could hear it, was like my knee. It's like moments like those that make me feel older than I am. 1st and 10 for Chicago at their own 34. The Bears down by 6. Shovel pass to DeAndre Swift. I'll go to the 40-yard line. And about a gain of 6 on the play. Like, until my stats things show back up, I'm incredibly boring. I'm all about the stats, and that's what makes it interesting. Caleb Williams, 2nd and 4. You're at the 40-yard line. 124 yards today for Caleb Williams, his best day as a Chicago Bear, considering his only other day was only 90 yards. There's a flag on the play. DeAndre Swift will only go for 1 yard on the carry. But there is a flag. We'll see what the call is. Holding. Defense. Oh, that's a defensive holding penalty. So Chicago will get the automatic 1st down. Caleb Williams has been pretty good today. He's made some solid plays. He's been right on time, going through his progressions. He's been doing a really nice job of sticking in the pocket. He's not rushing. He's taking his time. He knows when the pocket's collapsing, and he throws right at the perfect moment. His poise has been very good. He's been extremely accurate. He's been willing to take a hit. It's all you want out of a rookie quarterback, really. 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Trying to get the snap off. 3-2, finally gets it off. It's a shovel to Swift. A little bit late on the transfer over, and he'll go for no yards as he's driven out of bounds for a gain of maybe half a yard. Houston has 48 rushing yards, where Chicago only has 35. It's been a largely passing-dominated game. The Bears' offense, rushing yards per game in 2023 was 141.1, thanks to Justin Fields mostly. And today it's only been like 35. I lost the number already. It was like 38. And Caleb Williams flips one out to DJ Moore, who swarmed. He gets around 1 and eventually gets pushed out by the 2nd for a gain of 2. There is a flag on the play again. We'll see what the call is. 1:51 remaining here in the third quarter. The Bears are about at midfield. Holding offense this time. And they will take it 10 yards back. I don't know why, but this mic at this point is completely for show. because for some reason when I started the live stream, the mic was not connected. So I'm actually using the computer audio, is what you're hearing right now, but I'm hearing it myself through the mic. So like right now is way too close, but it sounds probably perfectly normal for you. But like it's really close right now, but it doesn't. You probably hear nothing different. But it gives me a better. It helps me more hear what you can hear a little better when I'm using the mic. So Caleb Williams, play action. He'll decide to throw under a lot of pressure. He'll dump it off to Khalil Herbert, and he'll go for about a gain of 2 on the play. Third down coming up for Chicago, as they might be forced to yet again punt. It's been a game full of punts in this final quarter here in this third quarter. 3rd and 16 coming up for Chicago. Again, it's a lot of pressure to put on a rookie quarterback to say, you got to make this pass on 3rd and 16. He's just not. He's 0 for 1 on 20-plus yards. He's 1 of 2 from 11 to 19, but he's rolling on the mid-range passes, 17 of 20. That's basically what I was saying earlier, is that they're not putting enough pressure on him in the deep game. They have to make him throw deep. Meanwhile, Houston brings the blitz, and he does throw deep, and it is intercepted. The Texans take over. Derek Stingley Jr. with the interception. And Stingley made sure that one stung big time on Caleb Williams. And the Texans will take over at their own about 30-yard line, it seems. Let me see the exact spotting here. They'll take over at about their own 15, 25, roughly. It's a bad angle, 35, 20. I don't know. Terrible angle. We'll see when they get down to it. Thank you so much if you've been here for the majority of the time. And also thank you so much if you're a part of the Grassy Posse that stopped by a little bit earlier. Thank you so much for sticking around there. Massive ratings. My YouTube stats are going to go way up after today. Tank Dell on the jet sweep, and it is blown up by Chicago. Oh, Gordon, who almost had the pick 6 earlier, almost came up with a big play there and gets him down in the backfield, blowing up the jet sweep. Second and 15 coming up for C.J. Stroud in Houston. Stroud looks. He's got Stephon Diggs. First time I've called his name in a while. He goes for about a gain of 6 or 7 on the play. Maybe less. Third down coming up for Houston. And, my mistake. This is the end of the third quarter on third down. The Texans lead 16-10 live from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Yeah, we got a good one. We got a good one, folks. Going into the fourth quarter, it's only a 6-point game. It's a pretty good one. Very solid, very solid. Ugh. Stand up for a second. It hurts to sit down for a long period of time. I've been here for 3 hours basically, and I've only stood up once for about 2 minutes before I got rated. Oh, I should go get my drink. I'm gonna be right back, and I'll see you in the fourth quarter. I'm back. All right. Oh, that was close. They're like back right now too. Oh, that was really close. This fourth quarter is brought to you by the Carmona Law Firm. Let our family take care of yours. So this fourth quarter should be a really interesting one as Houston has a 6-point lead and they have the ball. Here, 15 minutes left of football. If they can get a score here, or at least like at any point to get some amount of separation from Chicago, they're basically just adding fuel to the fire and saying, Chicago, come at us. CJ Stroud drops back. He's under a lot of pressure. He'll throw on the run, and he's got a man. It's Nico Collins, who breaks a few tackles and gets down into the 40 of Chicago. 1st and 10 coming up for the Texans. Good to have my drink back. Fantastic throw there to Nico Collins. CJ Stroud drops back. He'll throw. Delivers a laser, but it's just out of reach of Tank Dell. 2nd and 10. Coming up for Houston. It's exactly what they need. Nice little drive. Even if they get a field goal, that's still a 2-touchdown separate. That's still a 2-score separation from Chicago. That's all. That's exactly what needs to happen. Stroud's gone for 233 yards and a touchdown today, and Nico Collins has got 128 of those yards and a touchdown. They are having their, as usual, powerful duo. Excuse me. Head off to, guess who? It's Joe Mixon. He's back in the game for the fourth quarter. It's 3rd down coming up for Houston, though. He only went for 2 yards, but at least Mixon's back and healthy. That's big for the Houston team. For this Houston team, they really needed a solid power running game. Dameon Pierce was good, but he wasn't good enough to really punch it in on longer plays. I mean, he was good for like and one situations, but they needed someone who can go for 6 or 7 yards right off the bat. And Joe Mixon is that guy. CJ Stroud drops back under a lot of pressure. Ooh, and he tries to throw into traffic towards number 19. I think that's Xavier Hutchinson. Hutchinson? Is it Hutchinson? Did I get that right? I don't know. It is Hutchinson. Wow. And he gets absolutely popped. And he cannot come down with it. So it'll be 4th and 6. So the Texans will have to settle for a Kaimi Fairbairn field goal. He's made one from 56, 47, and 59 today. What's one more? A 53. Hey, add it, make it 369. Here we go. Kaimi Fairbairn. Snap good, hold good, kick is good. He narrowly sneaks it in there. He was tight there. Almost dipped it a little too far to the left, but it does ultimately make it in. So the Texans take a 9-point lead, and the largest deficit of the game, basically, as the Texans have finally started to create a bit of separation from Chicago, putting them down by 2 scores. All right. We definitely got a fun one. So that took off about 2 minutes off the clock. Got 13 minutes left of full commentary. I'm here for it. As soon as it's over, basically, I'm going to do like a quick little goodbye wrap up, say subscribe to the notification bell. So you get a notification every time one of the lives happen. And yeah, so that'll be fun. Yeah, so I'll do that. So it's basically like as soon as it's over, as soon as the game's over, I'm done. Because it is late here. So like currently it is 4. By the time this is probably over, 5. And I haven't even I still have stuff to do before I can sleep. I'm barely gonna get to sleep. All because of the Texans and the Bears and Tom Grassi. Everyone's gone. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, I'm going to bring this back over here. Ugh. Yeah, it's nice and fairly-ish charge. Nice. All right. Very well. So let's see what Tom Grouse is doing, I guess. Oh, he's just reading stuff. What are you talking about, Tom?
I hope so. What's going on, Adam? How are you? Happy early freaking crack birthday. Appreciate it.
He's talking about birthdays. Just wanted to see what he was doing. After all, I have him to thank for quite a bit at this point. I mean, seriously. Man, let's see the number now. I mean, it's got to be crazy. It's got to be like absolutely 138 subscribers. Oh, man. That is quite a bit. Quite a bit. Now all you got to do is subscribe to the other one at RSquared's Money Money Man. You can find it in the other channel section down at the bottom. So yeah, do that. I won't know how many this is until how many's on this one until it's done. Plug this one back in. It's actually not that charged as I thought it was. My headphones don't reach this far. All right, I'm back. So currently commentating right now on NBC are Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico. Where's my chair? Or Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico. Say you don't like either one of them, most commonly Chris Collinsworth, because no one cares about Mike Tirico. Then you can come on over here at any point during your Sunday Night Football, and I'm commentating on it. You can just turn them off, mute them, watch the game, but listen to me. That's what I say every time they show up. So get used to it. They show up like once or twice a game, so not really. 1st and 10 coming up for Chicago at their own 30-yard line, down by 9 with 13 and a half minutes left to play. Meanwhile, Jalen Petrie blows it up in the backfield on a screen to DeAndre Swift and a loss of 5. What a play. It has. Did you see the game earlier between Denver? The Denver game? My God, the Denver-Pittsburgh, I was so bad. There's flags every 5 minutes. It wasn't even, it was like every 2 seconds, like every play almost. Caleb Williams goes down. Whoa, he somehow escaped there. So he rolls out and it's intercepted. And what a roller coaster of a play. He almost gets sacked, somehow escapes, and then throws an interception to Lassiter. I don't even know. It's the second interception of Williams' day, almost on back-to-back drives. And the Texans are suddenly in business. It was the Broncos and the Steelers, you're right. But it was rough. And they got him by the jersey there, trying to take him down. And then he throws in a very risky place. He thought he could air it into him, but in triple coverage, that's a tight throw to make. And Lassiter was just the one closer. It could have been anyone. Lassiter gets the pick on Williams there. No, yeah, it was terrible. I was watching on Red Zone. It was like absolute, it was horrible. Every 2 seconds, it was like false start, illegal formation, holding. I'm like, stop, just play. It took so long. Joe Mixon takes it on a jet sweep-like play and only goes for about a yard. Second down coming up for the Texans. It should be like 2nd and 9 coming up. So the 2nd and 9, 12:30 remaining here in the game. The Texans have a lot of options here. They could throw. I would throw on 2nd down, try to get the 1st down, move forward, get a real padding of a lead. I'm an aggressive coach, I will say. CJ Stroud under pressure and gets sacked, taken down in a whirlwind of defenders. And that'll bring down 3rd and long. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was not. I was very sad to see it. Honestly, it was not a great game. Consider yourself lucky. Really, I was only watching Red Zone for the Chiefs Bengals game at the end there. There was really no point in watching the Steelers. I mean, nothing happened all game. CJ Stroud, he's got Mixon by his side, and then a screen pass. He'll get it to Nico Collins. We'll take it for about 10 yards and potentially set up a field goal opportunity. It'll be a long field goal, but still a field goal. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every day is a crazy day in the NFL. But there's been some wild stuff, particularly today. I mean, the 10-game 1 o'clock window, the 3-game 4 o'clock. I mean, crazy. All types Eastern. Yeah, but it's been crazy. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, the Saints won, the Vikings won. Basically, the entirety of what we thought was the NFC powerhouse trio. Yeah, actually, all three of them. The Lions, the 49ers, and the Cowboys. They all lost. Saints, Vikings, yeah. No, yeah, it was crazy. It didn't go at all what I expected. I mean, I was super happy about it, but like in my picks that I did earlier in the week, I took the Cowboys. But yeah, same for the Vikings. I took the 49ers, but who wouldn't? But it was crazy. I never really saw like those upsets in particular coming. Like there could have been like some minor, like Arizona, LA, fine. That one I saw coming. Pittsburgh, Denver, yes. But like New Orleans, not only winning, but like crushing Dallas, I just didn't see it coming. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a Dolphins fan, so really at this point, I don't feel pain or sadness or madness. It's just kind of all just blurred into one mess. Yeah, it was crazy. There's like yeah, after Thursday, it's kind of like despair, dread. Like, there's no hope for Dolphins fans at this point. What made me become a Dolphins fan? Well, my dad was born in Miami, and I was raised as a Dolphins fan. I've always been a Dolphins fan. It's really never changed. But it's like I like to say on some videos, here on the Exponential, I'm a sports fan first of all. So really, I'm impartial most of the time. Second of all, I'm a Dolphins fan. So if it comes down to it, I'm always picking the Dolphins. And and third up, I just enjoy what I'm doing. I just enjoy doing this. I enjoy commentating. It's a lot of fun. It's something I really enjoy to do. And according to people, I'm pretty good at it too. I wouldn't know. I can't really watch. It's weird to watch myself. That's something I'll never get over. Caleb Williams has had a little bit of sack issue so far today. Yeah, all right. That makes sense. Yeah, that happens a lot. I had to convince quite a few people to become fans of sports teams in general, but like even when I did, it was kind of like I don't ever expect them to choose the Dolphins. Caleb Williams hands it off to DeAndre Swift, who makes a nice little move there to get about 2 extra yards. I'll go for a gain of 3. Yeah, he's been getting a bit beat up on today. I mean, he's had decent numbers compared to game 1, but these last 2 drives, he's been getting sacked. He's been throwing interceptions. Like the Texans, he's wide open down the gun and threw one deep. Luckily, he threw that one out. He was about to get shot like a missile. Like there was a safety coming right through. Just narrowly missed him. But yeah, Caleb Williams has had a tough day. After the third quarter started. In the first half, he actually looked very, very solid. But Second half, the 2 turnovers, the sacks, they've been starting to pile on. It's starting to turn from what was a statistically good game to kind of like a game. Caleb Williams. Take the snap from his own 3 under a lot of pressure, and he is swarmed, and down he goes again. Down at the 1-yard line. Caleb Williams. He is, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's kind of the thing with rookie quarterbacks is that if you get them rattled, they're basically out of the game. That's what used to happen when the Dolphins had Ryan Tannehill as our quarterback, which we might have him again. But he would get like nailed once, and then he would just throw like 4 interceptions. They're punting from the back of their end zone. I think his foot's actually on the white line. And he somehow gets the punt away and head to a booming punt too. So he gets it to about the 50, but a nice little return. We'll get it to about the 45 of Chicago, which is where Houston will start their drive. But no, yeah, I mean, really, you just get him shaken up once, which is what happened on that one play where he tried to cross his body. He got hit. He kind of shaken up a little after the play. And after that, he kind of started going all downhill from there. Like you get a rookie quarterback once, and it's kind of like their welcome to the NFL moment at that point. Like you nail them, and then all of a sudden they're scared. They don't want to stand in the pocket anymore. They get antsy. They start throwing like weird passes. Like just throw it away. They start making mistakes. Like because a lot of them are better. And the handoff to Dare Ogunbowale. Sorry, that is not Dare Ogunbowale. That is Cam Akers. I keep forgetting his name. Cam Akers that goes for a gain of about 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 3, so a gain of 7. I mean, for what it's worth, Chicago's defense has been playing very well. I mean, this is not easy. CJ Stroud in I formation with a similar play that we've seen about 4 times so far in this game. Tight end in motion and then going into I formation. And they'll give it quickly to Cam Akers, who gets a nice block and eventually tiptoes out of bounds towards the 20-yard line. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And that's like some quarterbacks never learned it. Like Bryce Young in Carolina, he's never learned it. He's always been like, get out of the pocket, get out of the pocket, get out of the pocket. Lamar Jackson only learned it very recently, like last year, because before he was like, get out of the pocket, run. No, they're coming for me. I got to go. And now he's kind of standing in there a little more. Patrick Mahomes is great at that, like most things. He stands there and takes the hit. I formation yet again for the Texans, looking like another run. So they're just knocking out the clock here. Like, for example, Jordan Love, he really adapted to the pressure like he had it. Like, he just walked into the game and he just started, like, going. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was the latter. I mean, Dave Canales is a great quarterbacks coach, but I kind of feel like Bryce Young had already been poisoned so much by his past coaches that it kind of like didn't work for him, that it's not going to work. And David Tepper's too impatient to give him another year anyway. So if like the Panthers don't win a game this year, Canales is getting fired because Tepper's too impatient to deal with that. He should keep him on for another year because the inconsistency, it's like what Tua had in Miami. He had a different play caller like every year that he was there. Definitely. No, the O-line's not helping. No, he gets rushed all the time. No, yeah, he's terrible. I mean, it's really sad to see the situation in Carolina not getting any better. After like all these years of despair, like I know some Panthers fans, and they're kind of like, we just don't watch football anymore because there's nothing to root for, and that's sad to me. Like, there should always be something to root for, but there like hasn't been for them for a while. No, yeah, it was. Like, that's ultimately what happened to A-Rod during game 1 last year. He got sacked. I mean, that was because of the all-line. It was on, like, the 4th play. I mean, he made it through the 4th play this year, but who knows how much longer with those old, frail bones. But it was all up to the offensive line. They rebuilt that this year. CJ Stroud drops back to pass, and he'll dump one off to Dalton Schultz, who makes a nice move and gets inside the 5 for Houston. First down. But yeah, they've rebuilt their offensive line. Carolina just keeps going. They just keep rebuilding the coaching staff, and then they rebuild the quarterback. But they've never once decided, let's rebuild the wide receiver room. Let's rebuild the offensive line. They've never thought like practically like that. The owner has and general manager have always been, a quarterback and a head coach win the championship. Like that's how you make the Super Bowl. Is a good head coach and a good quarterback. CJ Stroud I formation, handoff, and he'll get stuffed for no gain. It'll be 2nd and goal. But like they spent 1 year rebuilding defense, which worked. They had a great defense. Frankie Louvu was brought in that year. That was a good defense. It wasn't an elite defense, but it was a good defense. But that year, they ignored offense completely, and they won 2 games. You have to balance both, or else it doesn't work. Like, you got to, really, you kind of have to build the offensive line first. Because if you had a rookie quarterback who's got no experience running the ball or anything, there's a fumble on that play. I did not see that. I did not see the fumble. Let's see it. And a head to the ball, and Cam Akers fumbled, and the Bears are on top of it. Wow. So Chicago comes up with a major fumble recovery at their own 3-yard line. Man, that basically saved their game right there. Houston had scored a touchdown there. This game was done. But maybe there's still a chance now. Maybe. But anyway, aside from the fumble, back to you can't throw in a rookie quarterback with no offensive line, whatsoever. Because then that's when they struggle. They struggle at, if they're put into a situation where there's bad leadership, they'll struggle. Like Tua with Brian Flores, there was bad leadership. He struggled. If there's a bad offensive line, which is what we've seen in a few places, like New York, that they'll struggle then when they're put into that situation. The other place that they'll struggle is if you kind of just say, you got it. That doesn't work. It worked for Jordan Love for some reason, but he was already really good. But it didn't work for people like Anthony Richardson, who got injured because he didn't get taught the proper sliding method. They just said, go out there and do what you did in Florida. Then you're going to get hurt. Then something bad's going to happen to you, you have to have all the right pieces. It helps to have a running game, but even the running game and the wide receiver unit aren't that necessary. Meanwhile, look at Kansas City. Isaiah Pacheco is maybe a mid-tier running back, and Kansas City's wide receivers are bottom tier, and Travis Kelce's top tier tight end. But I mean, he's not targeting him as much because you don't need it. You just need a good offensive line, a good defense, a good head coach, and a good quarterback. But they're focusing on the wrong part first. You have to start on offensive line, then go to quarterback. You have to get a team-building head coach, which is kind of what Washington's doing, because Washington brought in Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is in my opinion, one of the greatest team-building head coaches. He did it in Atlanta. He built that team. He built Matt Ryan. He built Matty Ice in that Super Bowl failure of a run. We don't talk about that anymore. But he did that. He built that. And that's exactly why they brought him into Washington. So that in 3 years, once their roster is complete and they finally think they're ready, they fire him, bring in an actual offensive-minded head coach that can really put the boom on the offense and really bring that up. That's how you win a Super Bowl. Carolina's not giving them the chance. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they just keep missing the first step. Because they almost got off on the right foot when they did the defense. But they ignored adding. They got the defense, but they didn't use the defense on the first round pick. They got Bryce Young. If you're going to focus on something, you have to focus on that thing. Even in free agency, you can bring in a random offensive, a good offensive line. The Texans got Laramie Tunsil for almost nothing. Caleb Williams, under a lot of pressure in the end zone, almost got sacked, and it is almost intercepted, but falls incomplete. on 2nd and 9. It'll be 3rd and 9. So there's a lot of stuff that has to go right. But if you're all in, you're all in. You can't just say, oh, let's see. I think I'm going to go with that guy looks good, which is what they've been doing. They go, oh, that guy's interesting. Maybe he can be good. And they pick him. They can't do that. It's a strategy. It doesn't work to just pick the top guy on the board. Like even in fantasy football, you don't pick the top guy on the board if you know he's not going to be good. Caleb Williams takes the snap. Under pressure, he escapes the end zone, saves the safety. He's got a lot of open space in front of him and walks all the way to the 30-yard line without any resistance. He'll get the first down and so much more. 5 minutes remaining in the game. But yeah, so like in fantasy, there's always going to be like one wide receiver, like putting Chris Olave at 16th on the fantasy big board. I'm never taking Chris Olave 16th. I'm going to take him as far as he will possibly drop before it's kind of like that's too far to drop. Yeah, absolutely. Because like for Carolina, they have Bryce Young's not terrible. I mean, I don't love him, but he's not like the worst quarterback Carolina's ever had. He just doesn't have the supporting cast or the coaching or the ownership. Oh, Caleb Williams launched one deep and overshoots his receiver by some 20 yards. But, like, yeah. So offensive line, they need to build an offensive line. Wide receiver, they can ignore it. Quite frankly, they can ignore wide receiver. Xavier Legette is a good enough wide receiver. You don't need a good wide receiver. Like, Kansas City does not need a good wide receiver to make the Super Bowl right now. They don't have a good wide receiver. He could be good. Yes, absolutely. He can't deal with the situation. 35-yard line, Caleb Williams orchestrating the offense on 3rd and 3. 5 minutes remaining here in the game. Caleb Williams drops back. He's under pressure. He flicks one over to Cole Kmet, who makes the catch, and that'll take it to the 36.5-yard line of Chicago. Caleb Williams took a big hit at the end of that one there, but he seems all right. No, he absolutely has the potential to be good. He's not surrounded by the right stuff. If you were to insert, say, him into like Pittsburgh's team, I'm sure he would do much better. Like, because like even the worst quarterback in a Pittsburgh play style, Caleb Williams drops back to pass again, and he'll flip it over to Cole Kmet again, who gets absolutely nailed by Jalen Petrie. Shaken up a little on that one, and there's a flag down. That's going to be unnecessary roughness. That could have been even head-to-head there. Couldn't tell. We'll see what the flag is, and then I'll keep talking about it. That was actually kind of a clean hit. I don't know. It was kind of clean. Yeah, I don't know. 2nd and 4. They did not call the penalty. Good. 2nd and 4 coming up for Chicago. I'll do this play and then I'll respond to that real quick. 2nd and 4 for Chicago. Caleb Williams all alone. Heavy blitz under a lot of duress, and he just has to throw it away. Meanwhile, he got absolutely like tanked over in the backfield. Of the quarterback, yeah, Stroud won. I mean, Stroud's got a cannon of an arm. he can throw. Like, we didn't realize it at Ohio State, which I don't know why, because when I looked at his clips from Ohio State, it was kind of like, how is this guy number 2? I mean, he put up the numbers and the wins, but overall, like, the throws were not super, like, that was impressive. But he came to Houston and he started throwing like 70-yard touchdown passes like everywhere he went. So I think Houston really unlocked his potential, because ultimately any quarterback can do really well in anyone that has come from the Mike Shanahan coaching line. Brock Purdy may not even be good. He probably isn't anywhere else but San Francisco. Tua Tagovailoa, probably not even good anywhere else but Miami. CJ Stroud may not even be good anywhere else but Houston. I mean, he probably is, but he's like the exception. But Bobby Slowick, still from the Mike Shanahan tree. I mean, there's all these quarterbacks that come from the Mike Shanahan tree or the Kyle Shanahan tree, and those are the ones that the quarterback classes best work with. Personally, I think Carolina needs to aim for Slowick this offseason. That's just if they want to progress a quarterback, you got to go with the Shanahan offense. It works so well for developing quarterbacks. 3rd and 14 coming up for Caleb Williams and the Bears. Williams, the Texans bring the blitz, putting the pressure on. He gets clobbered again. Floats one out in front of DJ Moore, but it is incomplete. There's a flag. It's going to be the same flag. It looks like this one's going to be roughing the passer. Caleb Williams is hurt on the play. Really sore there. It is roughing the passer on the defense. They hit him high and then hit him low. Now it's got to hurt. He gets hit low by Will Anderson and high by Edwards. Ouch. Yeah, that's not comfy. Oof, there was a bit of a hold there on Will Anderson, but they didn't call it. So they'll let it go. But Caleb Williams is looking a bit tired. Looks a bit tired of being beaten up on by this Texans D-line. It doesn't. The limit does not exist. Caleb Williams drops back. He's under pressure again. He rolls up and almost gets absolutely crushed by it again. He's really getting on the nerves of Chicago fans at this point who are watching and are going, no, stop, slide. Like every time he takes off and he's not sliding. He's putting his shoulder down. Rookie mistake, which is why he's a rookie. 2 years, he won't do that once he breaks his leg. And a run right up the middle by Travis Homer. Go for about 6 or 7. 3.5 minutes left to play in the game. Oh yeah, in like 2.5 years, every quarterback realizes why they have to slide. Because they get hurt. Same thing with Tua. He never realized why he had to slide. Because he gets hurt. He gets a concussion. Like literally every time he slides. And the same thing's going to happen to him too. Caleb Williams drops back. He's not under as much pressure. Throws. Oh, and DJ Moore can't come back around to it. And he takes off his helmet on the sideline. It's 4th and 4. It doesn't look like he's coming in on this play. I'm a bit confused on what happened to him on that one. DJ Moore, he's walking over to the sideline after taking off his helmet. Yeah, I mean, it's sad as a Dolphins fan, but as considering the fact that he's not just a football player, he's a human being, I think he should. Cairo Santos, a 54-yard field goal attempt. From the right hash, it is up, and it is good. Ooh, that took a while for the refs to decide. No, he made it. Good. No, yeah, I definitely think that Tua should at least take a step back. No, yeah, we do, because it is. Because he's had 3 official concussions. And then he technically had a 4th one in Alabama, but it wasn't as serious. It was like a small one. Like a mini concussion, if that's possible. Caleb Williams looks so beat up right now. But anyway, we want him to stay healthy. Because I don't know, I mean, he's a really nice guy. He's a great kid, but at some point you have to choose life over football. And I think he's at that point where he needs to go with life. Because that many concussions, that has serious repercussions later on in life, especially. So Cairo Santos will kick the ball back to Houston as their defense is going to attempt to come up with a stop with just under 3 minutes remaining in this game, down by 6. A nice return And a really nice return to get over to the 45 of Houston. Looks like that dynamic return is finally getting something going on the return game there. No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, one name that's really popped out at me in college football is the guy who already plays in Miami. He just plays for the college team. I mean, just picture Cam Ward. Like, say the Dolphins draft Cam Ward in the second round because he doesn't win a Heisman or whatever, and Xavier Restrepo with the 20th pick. Then our wide receiver unit is Xavier Restrepo, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Cam Ward's throwing to them. It's like evil. Like, it doesn't even seem right to have Cam Ward throwing to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle over there. But, I mean, it can't happen because of how close Restrepo and Ward would be together. But even just one of them is, like, insane. Like, if we get Restrepo, our wide receiver unit then becomes, like, the penultimate wide receiver unit. And if we get Ward, then we're a legitimate contender. I mean, offense would be unstoppable. And if, Anthony Weaver's actually done a good job as the defensive coordinator through 2 games, even though he allowed 31 points. But Josh Allen actually did nothing in the game against Miami on Thursday. He actually did a really good job holding him to basically nothing. And I think if he can stay a little longer, he can build up the defense, which means Cam Ward, Mike McDaniel starts rebuilding the offense. The offense gets Cam Ward along with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle and whoever the third guy is going to be, maybe OBJ whenever he comes back eventually, along with Jonnu Smith. Like, say we have the same team, but we have Cam Ward next year. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, the guy can throw like Patrick Mahomes. He's got the sidearm down. He's got an arm like CJ Stroud. Like, he can launch it. It's crazy. And when you have a wide receiver like Xavier Restrepo, like they do on the Hurricanes, who just catches anything, like he will put it anywhere, in his range, he can catch anything. It would just be so overpowered. Imagine that in Madden. Like, that would be a really good team. No, yeah. So that's kind of like in my head what would be ideal. Like the Dolphins do really badly this season, and then and then we can get Cam Ward at like the 16th or 15th pick in the draft or something. Assuming he doesn't win a Heisman, then we'd have to be like absolutely like atrocious and get him at like number 3. There's a missing helmet. There's a face mask penalty on the offense, and CJ Stroud does dive for the first down, but there's a face mask penalty on the play. But no, whoever gets Xavier Restrepo is going to be extremely lucky. He catches everything. Yeah, legal hits to the face. Like, imagine, because really in my mind, he's going 31st, exactly like Xavier Worthy, and the Chiefs are getting him again. That's like exactly what it's going to be. The Chief, Patrick Mahomes throwing to Xavier Restrepo, Travis Kelce, and Xavier Worthy. It's like, they're going to be better than they were last year. No, yeah, it would be absolutely insane. No, whoever gets Restrepo is like, it's going to be crazy. There's no doubt in my mind that Restrepo is going to make it in the NFL because he's like Wes Walker, basically. It is. He's going to catch it's going to be him every single time. Screen pass to Stephon Diggs, it'll go for about 3. I know, but like, they keep they land right where what the draft board considers the mediocre wide receiver, but what they secretly know is the best person in the draft for them. Like in 5 years, they're going to have like the ultimate team. It's going to be like, they might even be the next undefeated team if they don't stop losing to like the Raiders and stuff. Like the Bengals or the Raiders or whoever, like they lose like the weirdest games. Like they win all the big games, but they lost to like the Raiders last year, which was like, seriously? You won all the really tough games and then you lost in week 19 or in week like 18 against the Raiders. Tommy Townsend to punt on 4th and 13 for Houston. So the defense comes up with a stop, which will give Chicago back the ball with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the game, down by 6. Yeah, it's basically just they're just gonna own the league. They just own the entirety of the league. Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. It's just in like 5 years, the Chiefs are gonna be like so incredibly overpowered, and that they're gonna have to name the whole league after them. Then Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes retire, and suddenly they're the new Carolina Panthers. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce all retire in the same year. That would be disastrous. Yeah, just move everyone over here. Like the Jaguars have already moved over here, so might as well just move everyone else. Oh, a nice broken play by Romo Dunze, who gets almost to midfield, and the Bears are rolling. What? Could the Bears actually come up with this one? Caleb Williams. I was like blanking on the quarterback's name. Caleb Williams drops back and he'll throw again. Oh, towards the sideline, towards Gerald Everett, misses it that time. Yeah, it would be. 2nd and 10. Yeah. I mean, they're driving. They're at midfield. They're only down by 6 with 1 minute left. I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's also Chicago. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Bears at their own 37-yard line. Caleb Williams takes the snap. Oh, and he is absolutely smothered in the backfield. He gets absolutely nailed by the full body weight of a 300-pound defensive lineman. Man, he got nailed. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to stop him. They have no timeouts, 45 seconds left. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Aaron Rodgers back with the Packers. Even Jordan Love with the Packers. Caleb Williams under a lot of pressure, and he gets sacked again. The Texans defense is putting on a show. There's a flag, though. There is a flag on the play, but Caleb Williams just got sacked twice, but the flag is saving the time. He's limping rather gingerly right now. I said the word comeback, and Houston went, "What? What do you mean comeback?" And they suddenly started playing again. Illegal formation. Man, they're playing badly. So many flags. Fourth and 17. Yeah, this isn't looking good. 2 back-to-back sacks, 34 seconds, and the clock should start on the ref's whistle. Should, if I know my rule book correctly. It did not. I was wrong. All right. Caleb Williams in shotgun. 4th and 17. He's got to throw. What even was that? Okay. Goodbye, Caleb. So much for that comeback. Wow, that throw, where was he going? That throw, the throw is so bad. He just I think I'm going to throw it to the open receiver in Dallas. I'm going to throw it to Dallas and see if CeeDee Lamb can catch it. I don't even think he was aiming for inside the stadium at that point. That was a terrible throw. All right. So CJ Stroud will take the final knee, and the Houston Texans will come away with the win on Sunday Night Football. Houston Texans 19, Chicago Bears 13. Well, that just about does it for me. I've had a lot of fun. Great game, everyone. Great day. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to the Grassi Posse for stopping in. That was crazy. First time that's ever happened. Had some great conversations with some of you that stopped in from there. Thank you, Daniel. I really enjoyed the conversation. Thank you everyone else that I talked with along the way. Thank you guys so much. And I can absolutely not, I can't wait. I can't wait to do this again next week for whatever next, whatever game we're doing. I can't wait to have this again with you guys. Thank you. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Go, Houston, go.